Hey, hey guys, y'all get in here. Get in here, get in here, get in here. We got to talk. Listen, I'm sorry. Notes ran long because the conversations ran long tonight. And it was a lot to keep straight. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a lot to keep straight. We're looking at, let's see. Six, 7, 8.5 pages of notes. So we got a lot to get into tonight, honey. Y'all come on in, get comfortable. Please hit the like button. Please put your like number in the chat. Please don't make me beg you for the likes because we got a lot to get through tonight, honey. Happy Sunday to everybody. And I mean everybody. I wanted to go live yesterday, but I was in Ocala. I was home with my kin folks. So I didn't really have time to come on in and talk about K. Michelle and her post and what I thought about it and find out what y'all thought about it. We might get a chance to get into that this evening. If so, we will definitely talk about it. Iron Butterfly, listen, my good sis Iron Butterfly went and sent me some more notebooks. So I'm good on notebooks for a little while. Y'all know I fill up a notebook quick because that's how we keep the stuff straight. But I want to say thank you to Iron Butterfly. And y'all, please thank her in the chat because my sis look out for me with them notebooks. She does. She looks out for me with the notebooks. I'm also live in the vertical. Hey, y'all. So everybody that's over here in the vertical, be aware. This live stream is just for a little while to make sure that anybody who doesn't get the regular notification will get this one. And then that way we don't lose anybody. So y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. Hit your like button, get comfortable. Of course, the housekeeping is the same. If y'all cuss in my chat, misspell it, please. Make sure that y'all like the video. Put the like number in the chat. No, ma'am. Don't come in here acting ignorant. No. She's so loud and country. Also, make sure, please, that y'all greet folks in the chat. If you haven't seen them in a while, please say welcome back. If it's your first time being here with us, let us know so we can welcome you personally and individually because we are happy to have you here. Do not forget your engagement button on the bottom right-hand side, which is very important. Make sure that you tap that, the circle with the heart emoji. Hit any emoji you like. Send up the bubbles. I need it for engagement, and it's a big help to me. So I appreciate y'all for doing that. Also, as always, be aware your fave may not be someone else's and vice versa. No bickering, arguing, or disrespect of any kind is ever going to be tolerated. So y'all be very nice in my chat. Be mindful that you can agree to disagree respectfully. Respect your moderators. Please be kind to them, to each other, and of course your host, because I'm going to be kind to you. And also be aware that your host don't like nobody. All right? Okay. I hope we got that covered because I might have to pop a few folks tonight. I might have to pop a few. So let me greet who's in the building. And then we will get into these 8.5 pages of notes and all this mess that these women done cooked up tonight. Because, baby, they was cooking tonight. Yes, there was. Makeup Addict, how you doing, girl? Make sure you hit the like button. I'm so glad you're here. Adrienne Maria's like number 1. How you doing? Happy Sunday. My beautiful sis, Nakai. Is that Nakaya Washington? How you doing? She's like number 4. I'm so glad you're here. We love you. Sean living life in the house. What's up, nephew? Number 2 is going good. Just got up from a nap. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you everything they did, Sean. Everybody in the vertical, how you doing? Remember, this is a temporary on the vertical. When I close the vertical, the icon for the channel is going to show you that I'm still live. If you tap it, it will bring you to our main chat so you can hang out with the rest of the family, okay? Belicious with her beautiful self is like number 4. I'm so glad you made it. Hey, Em McKinney. She's over in the vertical. Em McKinney. Now, you know you got to come to the regular chat, girl, because you got to get in on the conversation. So don't worry. When it's time, you can slide on over. Miss Thelma, thank you for being number 6. Deborah Randall is here, y'all. So Housewives Talk is legal. And she is like number 3 in the main chat. Black Smile is number 7. Thank you, sis. So glad you made it. You and Happy to be happy. Hit that button at the same time. And I appreciate you, ladies. D Crazy, D Amazing, DS is here. She's number 8. Sasha Bunny. Hey, girl. I'm glad you like the vertical. Don't worry. When I end this one, hit the live button. It's going to show you I'm live. Tap it and come on over to the main chat, okay? DS is number 8. My good sis Magaline Lamar is number 10. We have Quiet Storm 87, which is the lovely and illustrious mother of our little princess. She's number 11. Candy Butler is 10. Hey, boo. Sunshine, etc. is coming in at 13, and I thank you. Hey, Kat. Thank you for being 12. Queen of Hearts KS is number 14. Auntie Eva, thank you for being here. She is number 16. Lady T470. Hey, boo. How you doing? She's number 21. All right, Priscilla Clemens, our good sis. She's number 24. I'm so glad you made it. Let's see who else we got. Miss Nisi is 22. I thank you. Anybody who's here for the first time, please make sure you let us know. You can say first time or first time live so we can welcome you, okay? Miss Lovely T is number 32. Miss Red. Hey, honey, thank you for being 28. Symmetry is 35. Thank you. Hey, Cass. What's going down, boo? She is number 30. I'm glad you made it. All right. Georgia Peach. How you doing, honey? Good to see you. Make sure you hit the like button. Thank you so much again, Iron Butterfly. I really appreciate the notebooks. I use every single one you gave me before, and I'm going to use every single one of these. I thank you. Hey, DV. Thank you for being 46. Nap Queen New Orleans is 47. CC, how you doing? Thank you so much. Is number 47 as well. We got our DT in the house. Hey, DT. How you doing? I'm so glad you're here. All right. DT is reminding y'all to please hit like the video. Okay, please. Speak on the ladies and not each other. No bickering in my chat. We keep it peaceful over here with each other. We just rough on the ladies on the show. Hey, Teresa, thank you for being 52. What Teresa say? We ain't even got started yet, y'all. Teresa already at them. Say, is it me or does K. Michelle resemble Kenya more a little? Issue. She don't look nothing like Kenya. I think K. Michelle is cute. Kenya's pretty, but they don't look alike. Those are both nice looking women. Those are nice looking black women, but they don't look like each other. They don't even look like cousins, I don't think. Y'all think they look alike? Hey, Cent 58, thank you for being 56. Thank you. Cloud 9, where you been? Cloud 59, did you change your name to Cloud 59, or is this somebody different? Let me know. 66 Seattle, how you doing? Make sure you hit the like button. The Lauren Brown is like number 61. I'm glad you made it. Brooklyn Queen for you is 59. Hey, Belize and JB, thank you for being 62. You and Lady RHOA, I appreciate you guys. Y'all get in here and get comfortable. 8.5 pages. We got to dig through it. So y'all, please don't make me beg for likes because I ain't got it in me tonight. Thank you. My sister said that she liked the recap better than the show, so she gonna make sure I have notebooks, and I thank you for that. Okay. Belize and JB, you in the right live. You in the right one. Don't go nowhere. You in the right place. DT is number 65. My girl Ann McKinney done slid over here to the regular chat, and she's 64. PG. See, PG's and the vertical said, if anything, K. Michelle slightly resembles Porsha. I could see that before I could see Kenya. I could see that because of like the way their mouth is shaped, like in here, that part of their face, I could definitely see it with that. And like the way their noses are shaped a little bit too. They could now, if K. Michelle and Porsha said they was cousins, I could believe it because of the way just the face shape and the nose and the mouth and stuff. Janae, are you brand new? Welcome. Y'all welcome Janae to the chat. She's from Bermuda, all the way from Bermuda. Welcome, honey. Welcome, and welcome again. Y'all spam the chat with the word welcome for Janae. Make sure she knows that we are happy to have her here. Antoinette, thank you for being number 69. Latrice Dudley, thank you for being 73. You and 3 Buckhead. Yep, y'all come on in because we about to get into this thing. Sakai, thank you for being 75. Richard Wilson, Ken Folk, it's number 77. TG, you don't be here often, girl, but I'm so glad you made it. TG is number 73. All right. So listen, y'all come on and get comfortable. I'm getting ready to close out the vertical. Everyone who's in the vertical, if you see me here, I'm going to end this live. The icon for the channel will show you that I'm still live. If you tap it, it will bring you over to our main chat so you can hang out and converse with everybody else in the family. Okay, so I'm going to end this one. I'll see you there. And everybody over here, don't move because you're in the right place. Okay. All right. So let's go on and shut this thing down and get into these cotton picking notes. And thank y'all for spamming the chat with welcome for Janae so that she knows that she is indeed welcome here. It is your first time. Well, welcome, welcome, and welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Please don't let it be your last time, okay? Do not let it be your last time. Michelle Gray, hey girl. All right. That Birkin B, I like the name. Is that your first time here? If so, let us know. You know what? I'm going to just welcome you because I would remember that name. Y'all, please spam the chat with the word welcome one more time. Chandela, how are you? Thank you for being 79. I appreciate you. Sasha Bunny made it. She's 81. And you're number 28. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Carrie Clark. Thank you for being 84. You and Divatude, I appreciate you so much. Y'all come on in and let's get into this thing now. We got to get into this thing. So I got my notes. The notebook is on deck. Pages are full. We got to talk about what's going on with this show. So first of all, first things first, the very first thing we got to get into. Wait a minute. Have I seen Bianca? Where is Bianca? Where is B? Is Bianca in the chat? Hold on. Oh, I could have sworn that she was here. I don't know. I ain't seen her. Connie Johnson is here. Okay, glad to see you. Glad to see you. All right, all right. It's your first time. But you watch with your mama all the time. I'm so glad. And I'm glad you came over. Make sure you subscribe so you can come back. And then, two, if one of y'all don't get the notification, the other one will. That way we can make sure no matter what happens, you know, somebody will know that we live. Okay? So let's get into it. Thank you so much for being here. So, yeah, let's get this thing started. Let's get this thing started. Oh, honey, you are lovely too. Just as pretty as you can be. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. So hopefully she comes on over. Connie, thank you for being 94. Kashana, you too. Yvette is here, y'all. All the way from Birmingham, UK. VJ is here. She's 94. You, Kashana. All y'all hit the button at the same time. So I appreciate it. Moderators, please keep a check on that like button if you don't mind. And we're going to get this thing popping. Okay, we're going to get it popping. All right. So anywho, wait a minute, 99 out of 163. So that means 64 people have refused to hit the like button before we even get started. We got 64 people refusing to like a video. Is there a reason we have 64 people refusing to like a video? And it's even more now at this point. Hey, Vicky Black. Thank you for being 99, girl. So that would make it 73 people refusing to hit a like button. Is there a reason? Hey, RJ. Thank you for being 98. Before we get going, let's make sure everybody is where they need to be. I need to understand why we have people refusing to hit a like button. Like, I'm doing all the heavy lifting. I made all the notes. I'm doing the work, but I need y'all to work, you know, help a girl out. Dana Brown, thank you for being 107. It looks like it's slowly going up. Ian Watson, thank you for being number 112. I appreciate you. It's moving up. The number's moving up. I need y'all to move up a little bit better, just a smidge better. Just a smidge. Oh, wow. Mm, this isn't good. 68 people refuse to hit the like button. Isn't that something? Is there a reason? It's 120 likes. Okay. So 61 people refuse to hit the like button. Is there a reason?
Yersiniz. Tuz. Çorba. Tavuk. 80. Aralık. Yeterli. Yersiniz. Bugün. 80. Hafta. Bira. Tavuk. Dakika. 80. Tuz. Çorba. Giysi. Yeterli.
Yeah, it's looking that way, Iron Butterfly, because I'm not understanding why we would have that many people refusing to hit a like button. Moderators, do a like check real quick. And we're going to go and get started.
Dakika. Tavuk. Tuz. Yersiniz. Hangi? Yeterli. Sanatçı. Hafta. Çorba. 80. Ay. Bugün. Yazar. Yeterli. İyi. Bugün. Aşçı. Bira. Giysi. Aralık.
Cecilia, thank you for being 122. Listen, Sasha Bunny, listen. First off, you know how it is. I have to, either way, I got to learn my Turkish. Either way, I got to learn my Turkish. So if we can hit the like button, I appreciate you. Tebrik ederim. Tebrik ederim ve iyi geceler. Let's get started. I'm going to trust that you guys are going to do the right thing and go ahead and hit that button. Texas Passion, thank you for being 137. Hey, my sweet. Quiet Storm says, stop being a mooch like Kelly Hobbit and hit that like button. It doesn't cost a thing, and it does not. Not one thin dime. Yep, hit that like button too feisty, because if not, y'all are going to be real fluent in Turkish. Yep. Hey, cool gamer. I'm so glad you made it. All right. Miss Diane, these I think people like me are watching from TV and can only do a YouTube like. You're only seeing the likes from those on the computer. No, ma'am. Even if you hit it on the computer, I see it. There are people who are refusing to hit the like button. You wouldn't do that, but there are other people who are simply refusing. Sinclair Baptiste, thank you for being 148. And Linnell, thank you for being 138. Okay, so that's a lot better than it was. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, Diva2. Is my Turkish getting better? I like it. Thank you so much. Teşekkürler. All right. So let's go. What happened tonight? Girl, you got to get out of here being ignorant. Yeah. So what happened tonight, y'all? We started off where they left off as usual. Political Junkie Sharon is 148. Thank you. Yes. So, look. The ladies is back at the house. They getting ready to go out. They want to hit Club Coco in Scotland. Honey, club named Coco, apparently. It was warm in there. Okay? It was a lot of, good dark melanated people in there. Looked like they was having a wonderful time. Hey, Kimberly Day, thank you for being 166. Catherine Bennett, thank you for being 144. Hey, Blessed In. Welcome again. Welcome back. So they getting ready to go out. Kelly's in there coddling Shamea with the hurt people, and you hell in all this stuff about her child, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm not going to say a whole lot about Kelly kissing up, saying nonsense. The girl needs somewhere to live, and we all know it. Now, that's just facts. Ain't no needing sugarcoating this thing. So Kelly don't have a choice but to call to Shamea, because, I mean, hell, if it was Shamea or the park bench, you got to make a decision. Apparently, she made one. So dig this. After that, they get up, they head to the club. They get there. Hey, Danya Crawford. And it was just crazy, to see them head to the club. Of course, Pinky is in there performing blackness again. Ooh, it's like Black History Month in here. First of all, why are you talking like that? Second of all, stop it. You are Caribbean American. Stop with the Black History Month, MLK chitlin talk. Like, you are not Black American, and you need to stop. Pinky's performing blackness while being simultaneously anti-Black American is weird, and I need her to quit. BJ says nobody said, "Girl, why? What provoked you to do that?" Child, they asked her, but if they got a straight answer, we got one. We didn't get one. Right? Kelly was working. Kelly needed somewhere to stay, and I don't blame her. At this point, I don't blame her. The Hobbit needs a tree house. Any house at this point. Just ignorant, and it's off-putting. And I don't. While I don't really like any of the ladies on the show, not a fan of Pinky, but Pinky has moments where she has a lot of redeeming qualities, but we can't get to the redeeming qualities because she keep doing weird, off-putting stuff like that. What's the doom and gloom, Cloud9? What was the doom and gloom? Help me out. Yes, Sasha Bunny, we got the, at a certain point, it comes to a point. And they said, how would Kelly know what Shamea held in? Because Shamea been talking to her and telling her stuff about Porsha. Remember how we talked about that? The only way Kelly could say you've been holding in all this stuff about this girl is if Shamea had been talking to her about the stuff that she wants to say about Porsha or how she feel about Porsha. There's no other way that she could come up with something like that other than because she was told. April Morgan said Porsha ruined the show. Chami is a high wife. Chimio, the old port. Baby, you got to retype that where I can read it now. Kelly and Shamea. Yeah. Wait, are you saying that's their name? You calling them Doom and Gloom? Is that the name of the duo? Oh, Cloud9. You rough, girl. You rough. You better say she does. Then I'm back where I started. There you go. Okay, let me get this one. April Morgan. Welcome, April Morgan. I don't remember that picture before, so I would remember. Cloud9 says that is her name for Kelly and Shamea's duo, Doom and Gloom. Y'all remember in Potomac, we had what was y'all calling Angel and Kiarna? Sad and Mad. Now we got Doom and Gloom, Lord. April say Angela and not good fit for this show. She's 60 years old, Porsche. One that says gonna sleep with a happen. Baby, listen, you welcome, but you're gonna have to, spell check it, write it on your notebook before you put it in the chat, because I don't know what you're saying. Blessing say right, because they don't really know each other. And don't. There was no way. Baby, Doom and Gloom is taking me up out of here. I'm trying to hold my face together because I cannot afford to be up in here laughing and making faces and stuff. Because we're gonna talk about who else was making faces tonight, because there was some faces being made, and just like I know I can't make all them faces, some of these other ladies got to know that they can't be making all them faces. Okay, madness and sadness, that's what y'all call them women. Y'all tough around here. Okay, April Morgan, well, tell us how you feel, baby. So anyway, they getting ready, she coddling, they head on to the club. Pink is performing blackness in Scotland, child. I'm just tired, but it is what it is. So they in there, they having a good old time. Everything's going nicely. Kelly tells Shamea, well, I guess when she was getting her hyped up to go out to the club too. Yeah, April is real excited, but she gonna calm down, and then we gonna know what she's trying to tell us. Black Lassa, thank you for being 166, and Blessed Woman of God, thank you for being 165. She was making some kind of faces. I don't know what it was, but it was some kind of faces. So they having a good old time. Yeah, I saw that, baby. I seen it. Nice to meet. Thank you for being 167. Yes, you know, gang signs a little bit, you know, however they doing. It's okay. She gonna calm down, and then we gonna know everything she telling us. Lady Blue, thank you for being 164, honey. So Kay decides she's gonna sing VSOP to Phaedra. Phaedra was like really excited and saying, you know, I just cannot believe that Kay is serenading me, because she said Kay Michelle told her she don't sing for friends, but she decided to sing for her. She said in her confessional that, you know, she likes Phaedra or whatever. And I feel like, can I tell y'all what I think? I'm gonna tell you anyway. And if y'all don't want to hear it, just tell me to hush. I feel like Kay Michelle came on the show wanting to be friendly with Porsha and with Phaedra, and possibly with Cynthia, definitely with Pinky. I don't know about the Drew thing. I don't know how that went. I have a suspicion, but I think she came in wanting to be friendly with these ladies and have fun. And I think somewhere along the line, she got finagled and, you know, electric slided and Cupid slided and shuffled and, you know, cha-cha slided into taking up Shamea's stuff and trying to force beef with people where it didn't fit. And I think that's why some of the stories for why she was so mad didn't work. I don't know, blessed in. I thought Kay Michelle sounded fine. I thought Kay sounded fine. But then again, I love Kay Michelle's voice. Hey, Anna Filson, thank you for being 171. Kristen Belton, thank you so much for being 169. It was a weird, you know, thing, but I think that's why the forced beefs with Drew and Porsha wasn't landed, because what she kept claiming that Drew did to her didn't make no sense. And I'm not a Drew fan. I'm not a nobody fan. But as much as I don't like Drew, as much as Drew has lied through her teeth, girl, that was definitely my jam. VSOP was my jam. But I couldn't understand what she was getting at, because you claim, you know, y'all remember Kay Michelle kept claiming, oh, you trying to pretend like I got something going on with this black dude. You mentioning my name with black, but we all sitting here watching the show like, girl, we ain't seen that girl mention your name with that man. Every time we heard black's name, it was coming out of your mouth. And I think it was because she was trying to, oh, thank you, Anna. She was trying to create something that wasn't there. She was trying to create the conversation around black. She was, and this is just my opinion. I'm not saying I know what Kay Michelle was trying to do, but I felt, me personally, I'm not saying nobody else, I just felt like what I was seeing was that Kay was trying to create the conversation. She wanted Drew Sidora to take the bait and start having the conversation. That's why, oh, he was in my DM. Kay, you so fine. Kay, you look so good. And she wanted Drew to take the bait and start talking about it, so that way she could say, see, you just trying to act like I want him. I don't want him. I got a husband. Drew didn't take the bait and instead said, well, he's single. He can be in anybody's DM he wants to, because he's not my man. And that's why we saw Shamea at that table saying, oh, you have to care because you was on the phone with him for hours. It was that, looking back at it, it's giving Shamea wanted Kay Michelle to pick that beef with that girl. And when Drew didn't take the bait, she was at the table making little slick comments because she was trying to force it to be something, because Drew wasn't taking the bait. And it ended up looking weird. And in hindsight, some of it's starting to make a little more sense. So anyway, her saying she liked Phaedra, I'm not surprised. Because when she came in, hey, Gigi, hey, J. Rochelle, thank you for being like number 175. Miss Carla, you were like number 100. All right. Welcome. Miss Carla said, and Drew was like, he for the streets. But I don't know about streets, because remember, Drew also sat on that sprinter and just said, I just love him. She said that. She also said that. And we know Drew likes to lie. So I don't know whether she love him or he for the streets. But she did say he's single. He could be in anybody's MDM he want to be in. It don't add up. It just didn't make sense. Like the stuff she pulled with, oh, Porsha asked her, did she have a miscarriage after she had told Porsha she was trying to have a baby? That wasn't adding up either. Kay Michelle said that Shamea mama was trying to form an alliance. Yep, and I believe it, because she tried to do it last year. Catherine Bennett say yodel this and all that crying. They keep forgetting Drew is a vet now, 5 years. I don't know if she a vet, but she been there longer than K. Michelle. I know that. But listen, so she sung for Phaedra. Phaedra was really excited. She says in the confessional, I like Phaedra. Some things I admire about Phaedra. Phaedra was real moved and appreciative, and she's singing along and all of that. And everything looked cool. Looked like they was having a good old time. She finished singing, and then she introduced Drew Sidora to sing her song. So at that point, I didn't know where Kay was going with it, but at that moment, I really did think it was cool that she, for whatever reason, decided to come off the BS train, and she did, introduce Drew to sing her song. And I said, okay, that's nice. Kimberly Day say when she seen them clear women love on Phaedra, she was sold. I don't know why y'all say that. I think she liked Phaedra from the beginning. I'm just going to be honest. I think she liked Phaedra from the beginning, because if you think back this season, she was like, when they asked, what did you find out that you didn't think you was going to find out? Whatever they said on the Sprinter going to Cynthia's dinner in Dallas. And she was like, she was surprised to find out that Phaedra was nice. And that was weird then, but it really makes sense. She had been told certain things about Phaedra, and so she was trying not to like Phaedra because she had been told not to like Phaedra, and they ended up liking her anyway because the lady didn't do nothing to her. That Birkin girl said, looking back, they had plans to get each and every one of the people on the other side. Cynthia with the house, Drew with the man, Phaedra with the meat, and Porsha with everything else. And you would be absolutely right. It was too contrived. Hey, Camille Fun, hit the like button, honey. All right, April is back. She got another one. She said, everybody know Angela's a liar. That's true. A grown woman lying on shame. I don't know if she lied on Shamea, but we do know Angela's a liar because last year she did take us to the June bug with the lie about the Godfather and Phaedra and the people in Athens. But yeah. So anywho, Drew came and did her little song with the delusional and whatever. All of them in there just a ditty bopping around. They just bopping and swinging their hands and swinging their heads and their hips. They just having a good old time. And they look up. Here comes Shamea coming through the door late, kicking one leg out through the split in her skirt, Kelly behind her like she carrying her train at a wedding, swaying behind her, bopping behind her. I said, what is going on? So they come on in. Yes, Teresa, every one of them women is a bunch of liars. Every one of them been caught lying. I mean, every one of them. All of them, including Cynthia. Cynthia done lied on people too. Sure did. She lied when it came to Nene. Then she lied on Phaedra during that season when she was going through that divorce. Oh, Cynthia's a liar too. All of them some liars. But yeah, she came on in, and it was kind of what I thought it was in the sneak preview when they showed the clip for the coming attractions. They absolutely was looking at her like, what you doing here? Now, I said during the sneak peek, I say, okay. And I told y'all, I say, now, y'all don't do that. She did what she did. She acting how she acting. She been acting like that at the very least, right? At the very least, Pinky is there. K. Michelle is there. They mess with her. So if the girl came to the club, let her hang with the people she messed with. Y'all ain't had to look at her like she had an odor. You know what I'm saying? Even if they wanted to leave, you ain't had to do that. Shamea came in, y'all. Drew Sidora looked like, I say, baby, the faces they was making tonight was tough. They was making some tough faces tonight. It was a rough crowd. So she came on in. Porsha was like, I'm finna go. Let me get somebody get me a car. Yeah, that doomed in the dog music. You so crazy, Janae. I like you. Say they lie to varying degrees. Yeah, but all of them be lying. They just lie. Brittany, Janae, hey, boo. You know I got to tell it like it is because they be on that foolishness. Did she lie? I don't know. I think I did catch Pinky in one this season. I got to go back through the notebooks. You know I got the notebook. Porsha not filming with her. That's why Shamea trying to give a fake apology. Child, y'all going too far ahead. We ain't that far. We ain't that far yet. Okay. But it did seem as if she was in her feelings and I would have come, but she showed so they was shocked. Yeah, I get all that. Yeah, and thank you for agreeing with me, Janae. Drew ain't had to do all that. The way she looked at that girl, my sis is here. Nakaya in the house. Okay. But yeah, and blessed woman of God, you're absolutely correct. Shamea was wrong for ruining Phaedra's birthday. You know, I'm not saying that Shamea was not wrong. Y'all know I don't agree with nothing Shamea did, but I just felt like her coming to the club. Y'all, number one, do not own the club. Y'all did not rent out the club. It's not even like y'all bought a section and she came to your section uninvited. Y'all came to the club. Production is there. The film crew is there. The girl is working like y'all are working. There are people in the group that she still is friendly with. Y'all could have let that girl come in there without doing that, because to me, I felt like it was let's perform first. Let's show you that we don't want you here first. If y'all was gonna leave, just leave. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when people come on YouTube or somebody come to my channel or another content creator's channel, and we not saying what you want us to say for whatever reason, and you see people like, I'm leaving. The first thing I say is don't announce your departure. Just roll, because this ain't the airport. And that's how I felt when it came to Drew and Angela for sure. Cynthia really didn't make a face, but she just looked like she was stuck, like gagged. She couldn't believe it. Porsha was not wrong for leaving, because, hey, this mess just happened that same night. This girl done called your mama a hoe. You feel away. You done told her mama's one too. And she's an incestuous hoe because she hunching two brothers is what Porsha is alleging. Y'all still hot under the collar. So for Porsha to say, yeah, I'm finna go and get me a car, that makes sense. But for the rest of them, it's like, why did y'all have to perform first? Why did y'all have to perform first to make sure the girl knows you're not welcome? Making a big show of the fact that you leaving. You could have just left. I'm just saying. D Michelle Lovely, hey sister. She said Angela on Twitter saying she ran to the stage, not outside the club. She posted a pic. Well, I mean, if she ran to the stage, she also did run her tail out the door, because we saw her tonight at the door talking to Drew about how she felt about Shamea coming up in there. So if she ran to the stage, that's all well and good. But she also did leave as well. My thing was, they didn't have to put on a performance to leave, is what I'm getting at. If you're gonna leave, quietly grab your things and go. That's all I'm saying. I don't, I'm all for if somebody wrong, they wrong. You don't have to do all that, is all I'm saying. Poetic Lyrics, thank you for being 192. So anyway, she walks in. Angela's shocked, like, you just sat in this girl face and said that, now you dancing in her face. Phaedra's shocked, like, I'm glad Porsha ain't on the Hennessy, because anything could have happened. And that's she took that from Porsha, because Porsha said that one other time about the anything could happen. But they shocked, all of that. Porsha left out. Talking about she left out for the God in her. And I don't know when Porsha got God in her, but I guess the Lord made us all. I ain't judging. It is what it is. Don't come for me. Okay. That Birkin girl said, I thought they all left because maybe they had already partied and they were there for a while. You could see Pinky was all sweated out. Pinky was sweated out, sis. But in all actuality, they had just got started, remember? Because K. Michelle did her song. Then she handed the microphone to Drew for Drew to do her song. She was also planning for Porsha to sing her song. So they wasn't ready to leave. They was just getting that thing cranked up. But since everybody skedaddled, since everybody hit the skedaddle slide, she ended up handing the mic to Shamea. We see Shamea singing her song and didn't nobody give a darn. It looked like Cynthia waited around and let her sing her song. She was kind of looking like a deer in the headlights for a few minutes. But they dipped. And then by the time K. Michelle was like, hey, Porsha, come sing your song. Where is Porsha? Where is Porsha? Baby, flatline. because Porsha was up out of there. She was gone. She skedaddled. Yeah, that cut the night short. That cut the night all the way short. So anyway, she left. I looked up. Everybody done run up out of there. Kay calling for Porsha. Porsha gone. Porsha gone. I'm like, at that point, I'm sitting there like, hey, you weren't looking when Porsha sprouted wings and flew up out of there like the world's best dressed flamingo. She got up out of there. Then when Porsha left, I'm looking up. Everybody in a roll. I think Cynthia was the last one to go because Cynthia kind of let Shamea make it through her song. She wasn't that mean. Bap, thank you for being 197, baby. Thank you, sis. Y'all hit the like button. Not 100 people in here ain't hit the like button. Y'all must want a Turkish lesson. That must be what you're angling for. I need y'all to hit the like button. Then it looked like Shamea still was, when Shamea was still in the club, the only people I seen at the table with Shamea talking to Shamea was Pinky and K Michelle, and then the little short girl she brought in there. What's Kelly? Them was the three sitting at the table with her. Everybody else was gone. They was gone. Shamea sitting up there in the confessional talking about some that everybody left with her. Are they part of her litter? And I'm like, you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that? So you calling them women the litter because they left with Porsha. Can we tell the truth in here for a minute? Blessed in, thank you for being 178, honey. Can we tell the truth? Do y'all might put a 1 in the chat if I can keep it all the way real? Because see, I just be tired of this, everybody picking on me, everybody ganging up on me stuff. When listen, I'm a firm believer in right is right and wrong is wrong. When you right, you're right. When you're wrong, you're wrong. And I don't care who it is. And y'all know me well enough to know that that's how I play, right? I don't cut no corners. I don't cut no slack. When you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, you're wrong. And that's just what it is. And sometimes you just got to be honest about what's happening, okay? She talking about they all left. Is it for free hair? Y'all a part of her litter? So you calling them animals of some sort, an animal who has a litter. And the only animals I can think of that have litters is cats and dogs. So you was calling them women cats or dogs, and that's all well and good because y'all clearly do not get along. But this pretending like you don't know why these women left. Shamea, tell the truth and shame the devil. Them women already didn't like you. They already didn't like you. Angela and Drew been picking and poking with you since the first episode, since episode 1 at Porsha's dinner party when she had all them strange women there in them white wigs from Party City. Y'all remember. Shamea hadn't said nothing to Drew. Drew went to poking at her immediately. Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Y'all remember that? So Shamea, Angela and Drew been at you since last year with everything that went on and with your alliance and all that. So they already don't like you and you know it. Angela just got through telling you that you was hunching the men on the Hawks and the Falcons. Last I checked, people who like you don't say stuff like that about you. Then you talked about her precious Charles. And she doubled down on you being a hoe and saying that you not saying, she didn't say, because I don't practice lying. She asked you point blank in front of everybody, was you hunching that funny looking man with that green beard? So you know these people don't like you, okay? They've been trying to get Porsha to get at you the whole time. They have been trying to get you to say something about Porsha that they could run back to Porsha. Hey, Gossip News. They've been trying to get Porsha to comment on you, talk about you. She won't get in it. Them people been waiting for Porsha to have a problem with you so that they could jump on it. Because them going at Shamea, it was just tit for tat, back and forth, and it wasn't going nowhere. Them people wanted a big blow up, and you gave it to them, Shamea. You gave it to them because Porsha didn't feed into nothing. No matter what was going on behind the scenes, we saw clips tonight on tonight's show that you've been behind the scenes telling Cynthia, oh, Dennis is still our connection, so at least then I can see Pilar. You talking about you want to see this woman child behind her back, and you know she don't want her child around you. You doing all that. Porsha still ain't took the bait, still ain't said nothing, but you jumped out and gave the big blow up. So now they have an excuse. When Porsha left, now, oh, we all gonna leave. We gonna all act like we so offended. I don't believe them women is so offended because Shamea called Porsha mama a hoe. Mind you, that was egregious. That was egregious. I wish I would fix my mouth to call a senior citizen a hoe. I'm not doing that. Now, if you old and you used to slang your cat everywhere, it's going to have to be somebody that's your classmate, your age mate, to come out and call you out your name, because it ain't going to be Nitra. Okay? It ain't going to be me. So I do think it was egregious, but I don't think that them women, I don't believe that those women were that offended. They've been waiting for Porsha or Phaedra or Cynthia, somebody that got more energy, more charisma, know how to play the game better, to have a problem with you. And you gave it to them. So when Porsha walked out, they was happy to walk out because they didn't want to party with you either. Because at the end of the day, Porsha didn't ball her face up at you. Drew Sadora balled her face up at you. So her doing that just made herself look even crazier. Garnett, stop that. Stop that. But anyway, so that's just the thing. And Georgia Peach got a point right here when it comes to that stuff with Porsha Child. Why the hell you want to see Pilar so bad? I'm calling Roots, because that's the only reason I can think of that you dying to get your hands on another woman child. You don't like this lady. You don't like her mama. You don't call her a hoe. You don't call her mama a hoe. But then you cry when somebody call you or your mama a hoe. But you still trying to get your hands on her child. Is it me? Put a 6 in the chat if I heard wrong. Last week, did Shamea not say that it's a generational thing and you got it from your mama? So if you feel like she a hoe, her mama a hoe, and it's generational, wouldn't that mean that you think Pilar is a hoe in training or a hoe on the come up? Why would you want her around your daughters, number one? And number two, if that's what you think of that little girl, why are you trying to get your hands on her so? Other than the fact that you know your mama dealing Roots and you try. Shut up, Seanitra. I'ma shut my mouth. I'm gonna be quiet. Hey, T Goldie. Yeah, I thought Blessed In. I thought she said generational. So you can't say that you think that that's something generational in their family, but you love this little girl so much you just dying to get your hands on her. It's giving Roots to me. It's giving Roots to me. But I'm going to be quiet because I ain't trying to accuse nobody. I ain't trying to accuse nobody. But I know what I see, and something I'm seeing don't look right. But anyway, so moving on from there. They sat there with her. Pink and Kate stayed there with her and the girl. She made her little comment and act like she's so upset and all that. And them other women went home and looked like Pink and them went on and went home too. Now, this is where I'm going to hold, hey, how you say your name, baby? Amari? Hey, Hyper. I just want to speak to everybody. I am Mari. Hey, Mari, welcome, baby. But yeah, it's suspect as hell. But the other thing that's suspect, can we talk about this? Tell me why, if you don't mind, if you will, why would Pink and them go ahead and go home, right? Y'all like Shamea. Shamea supposed to be y'all friend. Yeah. Yeah, up here in America, American Black people, we either say Roots, the root doctor. Sometimes we say the conjure man. And you got some people that say hoodoo. But when we say Roots, that's what we talk about. That's what we talking about. We saying you playing in the witchcraft. We saying you's a witch doctor. Porsha need to get a restraining order for her daughter against Shamea and her family. And she need to get some blessed oil and anoint that baby. That's what she need to do. Because you working that hard, breaking your neck to get your hands on another woman child, you sick in your head. And we know Porsha good and slow. I'm talking about molasses in the wintertime slow. Because ain't no way in hell you finna be breaking your neck to get your hands on a child of mine, and I'm gonna be that cool. Because I beat your tail about that witchcraft stuff. I don't play that. I don't play that at all. Not even for 2 minutes. Hey, Extra Treasure, you had to see a man by the vacuum. I understand. I do. So listen. What got me was why they left. Now, Kimberly say production wasn't going to film in the club when the other women left. I don't believe that. Had they stayed, a film crew would have been with them, and a film crew would have been with Porsha now, because they done that before. You was thinking the miniseries, girl? No, not the miniseries. Say, yeah, why Pinky and them ain't stay longer after Shamea and Kelly arrived? They left shortly after her song and after they realized Porsha left. That's the thing that is bothering me. That's the thing that bothered me with that whole situation. They stayed in the club to sit down with her to hear what she had to say, because that's the messy part. But the girl came out. She claimed she wanted to party. So y'all stay and party with your girl. I don't understand what the problem is. K. Michelle had been on the microphone thus far that evening. Y'all could have kept singing with the people, had a good time, party, took shots, had a great time. This supposed to be your girl, right? Why y'all left? This is why I say the people give Porsha and Phaedra and Cynthia way too much credit. So when they leave the party, leave. Y'all don't know how to have a good time without them. They the whole party. Is Porsha and Cynthia and Phaedra the whole party? Are they the whole party? It just wasn't making sense to me. All right. It just wasn't working. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand why they left. So anyway, day 3, next morning, everybody up, getting ready or whatever. Pinky's still performing. She's still performing blackness that nobody asked her for. And it's weird. And I hope somebody who's a friend of hers or a good fan that she might respond to will send her a message and tell her, you are free to be yourself and you do not need to perform blackness, ma'am. It's breakfast time. She getting ready to head downstairs and she talking about these chitterlings that they're serving. Ma'am, you are Caribbean American. What chitlins got to do with you? I'm just asking. See, this is what I'm saying. This lady, hold on. Nakia Washington said, I think they realized Shamea went too far with the Miss Diane and Pilar comments, so they probably drained from her acting like a victim. That could be. That could be it. That's fair. That could be it. It's not deserved to be left in the club. Now, y'all know how I feel about that. They in another country. Cynthia absolutely did stay long enough to hear her song. She did. Cynthia stayed long enough to hear her song, but her friends were not interested in partying after that. Nika J, thank you for being 213, baby. But yeah, I just was like, the chitterlings that they're serving. What chitlins? What chitlins? DSA Shamea should have been happy with Shark Tail Potter being there. Yeah, her and Kelly could have stayed and hung out. Hey, Evolution, thank you for being 214. Well, I don't know why Pinky was in that body stocking. I don't know why Pinky had on that body stocking showing them flat cakes behind her. I don't know why she did it. It's just weird. It was just weird. So we got Miss Performing Blackness talking about chitlins when she's Caribbean American. And shout out to the Caribbean Americans, because y'all got some bomb food, but chitlins ain't one of them. And it's getting weird. The thing that Panky Stanky Cole is doing is getting real weird, and I'm really over it. Phaedra tells Porsha that she went to Porsha's room. She was all dressed up in her little Gucci cape. She was real cute. She was looking like a little doll. You know, the wig was nice. But she went in there to let her know, like, look, girl, after last night with that mess you and Shamea had going on, I'm splitting the group up, okay? And let her know that she was going to take Cynthia with Shamea and Kelly. She was going to, and it makes sense. If you trying to calm stuff down, trying to, like, even stuff out, take Cynthia with you. That's the best way to go. Hey, Sanjay. And then so Porsha said, well, I'll take my girls and we'll do a spa day or whatever like that. Because obviously there was nothing planned ahead of time. They decided to split the group at the last minute. So there was no real plan. She said spa day, and Phaedra was taking them girls to the cemetery. I don't know that I would have let her take me to the cemetery. I don't know that was gonna work. It wasn't gonna work. It just wasn't gonna work. But she took them to the cemetery. The rest of them stayed with Porsha. Okay. So she told her, she was like, I kind of want to talk to her. And, the cemetery is a good place to go. And maybe we can bury it. Maybe we could, bury this and y'all can move on. Porsha tell her, like, girl, this ain't finna be buried. She said that girl is a snake in the grass and she was trying to trigger me, which she was definitely trying to trigger her. I think we can all agree to that. And she said going forward, she going to be matching Shamea's energy. And she furthermore went on to say that that they probably would be continuing this conversation at some point. But now Phaedra was like, girl, I don't want my birthday dinner to be, full of this foolishness, which is fair. She don't want to be, have her birthday ruined. She want to be happy on her birthday, not breaking up no fight on her birthday. But Porsha was like, look, girl, it's probably gonna be some foolishness, but I won't be the one bringing the foolishness. So I guess that's fair. But she was trying to say, like, hey, I didn't bring it last night, but that heifer brought it, and it's probably gonna be some more, and she probably gonna be the one bringing it, right? So anyway, she said, but but she made a point. Porsha don't make a lot of points. Porsha don't make not a lot of points that I can, touch and be like, oh, Porsha got a point. Porsha made a point. I don't know if y'all heard her when she said it, but Porsha said that that she won't be the one bringing it, but she made mention of the fact that maybe she trying to ruin another trip. And I'm sitting there like that lady in that meme everybody be posting. I had to close my one good eye and focus my other eye because I said, wait a minute. Shamea and them did try to ruin that Dallas trip for Cynthia. They absolutely did try to ruin that Dallas trip. And now they all the way in Scotland. Everybody having a good time. And Shamea just randomly, your mama's a hoe. And I want to get my hands on your baby. It was weird. I do some stuff. I'm an Aquarius. I can be a little loopy. So I do some wild, crazy, random stuff. But I ain't never did that. Everybody at dinner having a good time talking about co-parenting and who dating who and who you like and who look good. And everybody just having a good old time and just randomly, your mama's a hoe and I want to get my hands on your baby. It was strange. That was a strange conversation. Hey, Miss Gardner, thank you for being 220. So anyway, she said that Phaedra and Porsha hug it out. Phaedra left, but Phaedra still had a look of trepidation on her face because she really do not want her birthday dinner to be ruined, right? Phaedra go get her group. They in the car. They heading on their excursion. But Phaedra didn't tell them women where they was going till they was all the way on the road. Okay? Now, she get them on the road and then she tell them, hey, by the way, we going to the cemetery. I say, Phaedra, we see dead people. So they like, let me out. That truck didn't even slow down. They kept going, heading to the doggone cemetery. Okay. Now that was one time I wasn't mad at them for saying, let me out. Because I definitely would have been saying, take me to the cemetery. I don't know not one person been buried in Scotland. Not one. Okay. So they get on there or whatever. Shamea in the confessional being dramatic, like somebody gonna do something to her. If you remember, she did the same mess when Phaedra had her party over at her house. Y'all remember Phaedra had that little weird party where they banging on bowls and beating on drums and home and sitting on floats in the water, all that foolishness, right? Remember that? All that, spooky dooky, hippy dippy bullcrap Phaedra had going on. And she had a float, and her float wasn't perfect, so it was starting to leak or whatever. Talking about they trying to kill me. It's a setup. Now, y'all going on an outing to a historical cemetery. This fool talking about it's a sound bath. Thank you. I couldn't remember what Phaedra called that mess. It's something I wouldn't be doing. But yeah, that. And she were talking about they trying to kill me. They setting me up. So now, y'all going to a historical cemetery. This cotton picking fool. Hey, blacks in commercials. talking about, I'm glad I wouldn't go unless Kelly was here to be a witness. A witness to what? Who finna bury you? Why Shamea keep acting like somebody want to do her something? But you know what? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The fact that she keeps saying macabre stuff like that is giving, girl, what is in your heart toward these people? Why do you keep acting like they trying to kill you or they could try to bury you? Like, it's weird. It's weird. Absolutely weird. Hey, Delicia. So look, after that, then they switch over to Porsha, where she done call her sister. So she done call Lauren. Now, y'all, this where this thing is good. It get good. So she called Lauren. She called Lauren to tell Lauren what's going on. Now, it's the middle of the day or whatever, but it was still morning over here in the States, in Georgia. So she called Lauren. Lauren just waking up. And she tells her about what went on with Shamea. So she's like, how the trip going? So she telling her, hey, it's going real good. You know, everything was really nice until last night when Shamea randomly said, your mama's a hoe, let me touch your kid. You know, that's everything was fine. Sunshine, what you say? Seanitra, you might be on to something with the root work. I noticed that Shamea is now mirroring Porsha's style. Her outfit choices, the outfit on Watch What Happens Live is similar to Porsha outfit she wore tonight. Child, first of all, when she did that interview with Carlos King, she had on the outfit and hair similar to Porsha's. No, I didn't. I didn't catch it too many people, baby. Poetic Lyrics say Shamea is projecting. She probably the one trying to do things to people. Why she want proximity to Pilar? Baby, it's getting weird. It's getting weird. Very weird. Okay. Hey, Wicked. Thank you for being 227, like the TV show. So, yeah. So she telling her about, you know, the mess with Shamea and everything and what was said about her mama. Well, Lauren cussed. She said, what the F? Why would she say something like that? And said, yeah, talking about my mama wanted to sleep with her daddy. And that fool said, and her daddy ain't never had no teeth. I said, Lord God from Zion, did this girl get on national TV and say her daddy ain't never had no teeth? She said it. But then in the confessional, we find out from Porsha that behind the scenes, the people was telling her, see, the people been trying to get Porsha hyped up. Porsha just wasn't taking the bait. Because they, she said they was telling her, oh, she trying to use your baby for clout. And I'm like, what you mean by that? Then as quick as I could ask the question, production played the clip of Cynthia telling her that, you know, and you know, it was on character. It was on camera. Cynthia saying, well, yeah, she say they still close with Dennis because that's the only way she still get to have access to Pilar or be able to see Pilar. It was just weird. It was a weird thing to say. So Porsha in the confessional talking about yeah, you know, don't be using my baby, like leave my kid alone. Like, I know that would trigger the piss at me. I ain't gonna lie to you, that would trigger me. You hollered when Porsha said that about that man talking about he ain't never had no teeth. Tough, man, tough. I was like, man, now your pops done caught us straight because you sat up there and told that lie, man. But anyway, look. So anyway, she said that we saw that clip from, you know, Cynthia telling her what was going on. And Lauren really was cussed. She was like, you know, there's some lines you don't cross. And that was a line and she crossed it. So I was like, dang. So soon as that conversation started getting good, they done switched back to the car. So in the car, you know, with Cynthia, Phaedra, Kelly, and Shamea. In the car, Kelly was like, why y'all left like Costco samples and whatever, trying to tell some lame joke. At the end of the day, Kelly, you weren't trying to be funny. You wanted to check them for leaving Shamea, but you ain't really got the balls to check them. So you talking about why y'all left quick as Costco samples or whatever the hell she said. First of all us don't be going to Costco eating samples, girl. You need to talk about something that's relatable to everybody. Okay. not just, the newly impoverished. Okay. Anyway, so Cynthia corrected it. Cynthia said, first of all, I stayed and listened to the end of your song. I did not leave during your song. Shamea didn't even manage to correct it, like, oh, my bad, you didn't leave. She was like, well, you greeted me and I appreciate that, but I'm disappointed because, see, I didn't even really want to come out. If you came out, then you came out. Kelly told you to come out. Cynthia did not call you and tell you to come out. That's one. Two, you said all y'all jumped up and left, and Cynthia just corrected you and told you that she did not. She stayed to the end of your song. You didn't even apologize. Next, you greeted me, but I'm disappointed. So you still want to switch and say she just greeted you, and you don't want to acknowledge that she stayed, and you telling her about how you disappointed because you didn't want to come out. Well, then why the hell did you? You didn't want to come out, but you did, and now magically Cynthia owe you something, but she not the one told you to come out. That would be somebody who would be Kelly. Your tenant is the one told you to come out. Okay. So at that point, she goes into, well, I want to apologize to you, Phaedra, for ruining your dinner. That was premeditated. You walked in there with it in your mind to ruin to Phaedra's dinner because you were angry that Kelly and Porsha had fake made up, because they didn't really make up. They just called the truce. I'm going to quit attacking you. You quit attacking me. I ain't going to fight with you. I ain't going to fight with me. You ain't going to fight with me. Simple, right? That's it. That's all. But she was premeditated. She had it in her mind to ruin that dinner because she was mad about that. Because we heard her say in her confessional last week, how could she forgive everybody but not me? You was upset because you felt like, why can't she just forgive me? I did all this stuff, but ain't nothing I ain't did before. Why she can't forgive me? That's the way I took it. How else could I take it? So at that point, she's apologizing for this and that. And when asked about what, why she did what she did, well, it was a buildup and all this other stuff. And it, the IG post, and she did some fake crying. And then she was like, y'all need to understand why it went like that. And so then she started lying again. And I'm like, Shamea, I'm tired. This girl said, but see, I didn't mean for it to go that way. It started one way, but it ended up another way. Right. Janae says that annoyed me, and I cannot respect that she would only speak on the events from last night in Porsha's absence. You caught that, right? Oh, I was gonna get there. Lady Rose say definitely the truth, that it was premeditated. Pinky actually collaborated it as well. Well, listen. First, she said, well, y'all need to understand how it happened, and it started one way, went another way. So what she said was, very careful. Listen to what she said. She's trying to create something where she has less culpability than she does for her behavior, right? She says, we went back and forth and we were both slinging mud. And I said, wait a minute. When did y'all go back and forth and sling mud? When did it happen? When did it happen? Shamea started lying off the bat. And I watch her with how she do her lies. See, all these women lie different. They lie different. When Porsha lies, she just blurts. She'll blurt one out. Phaedra ain't lied in a while. When Cynthia lie, it's because she trying to switch friend groups or because she trying to kiss up to one friend over another. When Shamea lie, she tried to talk about what happened, but she switched the words around. Real manipulative, niece. That's the way you put it. Real manipulative when she do it. We were going back and forth. We were slinging mud. No, Shamea, that's what you tried to do. You tried to go back and forth with her, and you tried to get her to engage in mud slinging, and she did not do it. You brought up that girl child out of the blue. They talking about Dennis and her going with Mike and going with Sway, and you went to talking about that girl child and why I can't get my hands on your child. And the girl was just Porsha didn't go back and forth. Porsha actually explained and said, look, we're not cool no more. So, I just didn't want to put my child over there. and the type of things that I said to you, the type of things you said to me. That is why I didn't feel comfortable sending my child over there. That's not going back and forth, nor is that mud slinging, because at no point did she say, Shamea, you did this and you did this and you did that and you did this. She didn't do any of that. She was talking nice and easy. Hey, Tammy. Hey, August with the shade. Jen Tree, all y'all welcome. Y'all spam the chat with welcome. We got people ain't been here before, and we got to welcome folks. Tammy is our sister, but Jen Tree and August is new folks. Welcome, y'all. Please hit your like button, put your like number in the chat. So I'm like, where was the mud slinging? Like, there was no mud slung. Even when Shamea was like, but you know, but your mom and my mom and Savannah, you said you wasn't gonna say nothing about the mom and all of that. And so that's when Porsha said, I don't give a dang about our mamas. I'm trying to tell you, yada yada yada. Oh, but you posted about what my mom did, but you didn't post what your mom did. And it was like, girl, where did that come from? Nobody was yelling but you. Nobody slung mud but you. And now that she's recounting the events of the prior evening, it was, we were going back and forth. We were slinging mud. No, ma'am. You was going on and on. There was no back and forth. You was going on and on. And then you slung mud. Then she goes, then I said what I said. Then she went to hell. Ma'am, you call that girl a mama a hoe. You went to hell. Now, she met you there. Porsha absolutely met you downtown hell. I don't know if there's a gazebo on the square downtown of hell, but she met you there. But I said what I said when she's talking about her behavior. If you notice, she minimizes her behavior. I said what I said. So I just said something and then Porsha went to hell. Y'all, did y'all peep that? Leslie Cornish, thank you so much for the super sticker, sis. This is my first support of the whole night. And I appreciate you and I love you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. It's like, what am I watching? She said what I said, and then she went to hell. Y'all both went to hell. And you was driving. Okay? You call her mama a hoe, and she said your mama is a hoe that hunched her husband brother. Now that's what the hell went on. Y'all went to hell together. Okay? So then we get back to Lauren and Porsha, and I'm like, now dang it, I was just getting into Shamea and how she was trying to twist what happened the night before. Then they gonna switch back to Porsha and Lauren. So Lauren is on there like, why would she say that and that crap? That's not even true. And then Porsha was like, and her mom actually did sleep with her husband's brother. And I'm like, Porsha, stop saying it. At this point, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't really care if Miss Sarah did hunch her husband brother. These is old people. Whatever went on is ancient history. I just said to my daughter not long ago, this was yesterday. We were sitting up with my cousin Teresa and O'Keller, and we was talking about the fact that when old women get old, anything you did when you was young, I don't want to know that. I wasn't even talking to you, but I was talking to my cousin Teresa. Matter of fact, that was this morning before church. I just said that. Whatever them old women did when they was young, I don't want to know that. If Miss Sarah was, getting what she want, I don't need to know that. Shout out to Peggy Scott Adams. I don't want to know. Okay? Porsha, stop saying it. What is this? So she was like, but she actually did do that. So then, August, I'm with you. I hate that Shamea brought it up. I hate that they keep talking about it. I don't want to know that about them old women. I don't want to know that much about these old women. Okay? Duhart say, they say a woman poisoned somebody in my family. I can't give details, but I believe it. I would never send my child around somebody who don't like me, and me neither. You feel me? But the thing is, but for what? Because I don't believe that for 1 minute that Diane, bad as she was just champing at the bit to sleep with your toothless truck driver daddy. I don't believe that. Now, it's some stuff you can get me to believe, but that ain't one of them. I don't believe that. I just don't. It's a shock that he caught Miss Sarah. Miss Sarah was a good-looking woman. So if he could catch Sarah as a toothless truck driver, I think that that's a win. A win is a win. You're not finna convince me that Diane was over there like, ooh, if I could just get that sexy toothless truck driver, it's gonna be on. You ain't gonna convince me of that. Hell no. It's a lot of stuff I buy, but I ain't buying that. I don't care if it's on sale, 90% off. I don't want none. I don't believe that. I don't. And I know social media has a thing about black women. If they're attractive, we got to call them something degrading. We got to make them out to be whores or Jezebels. We got to pretend that they got the sapphire spirit. We got to do all that. I got you. But I don't believe that. I don't. But anyway, so then Lauren went to trying to make Porsha think. Because, you know, making Porsha think, baby, that's a Herculean effort. Y'all know Porsha ain't the smartest. She got some sense. You know, she got sense enough to get a prenup, but she ain't the smartest either. Lauren was trying to help her think. Lauren say, listen, somebody that's trying to trigger you, she been knowing you a long time. She know how to get you going. She trying to get you riled up because she wants you to come at her so she can be on the defensive and you look like you's a bully. Don't do, you know, I'm paraphrasing like, hey, don't do that, right? Don't fall for that. She said, don't play into that mess at all. Porsha sitting there like, you know how she be looking when them eyes get all spaced out and crazy looking and looking like, I don't know if I can just let that go. I don't think I got it in me to keep being a bigger person. I'm like, no, you need to keep being a bigger person because Porsha, you literally are the bigger person. You're a much bigger person. So we need you to remember that. And don't play into the bull, because the fact that you are literally a bigger person, even if she in the wrong, if you respond back at all, you're going to be the bully. You're going to be the one trying to menace her, intimidate her, all these things. And no matter what she do, she's going to be seen as, I'm standing up to a bully. So your sister was telling you the truth. Simple as that. Miss Diane's a good looking woman then and now, but she was real bad when she was young. Lauren gave her jingles to jangle with for sure. She did. Yes, Lord. So listen. Yeah, little sis had to help big sis. It be like that sometimes. When you're a little sister, sometimes you have to tell your big sister, hey, girl, think. And I'm glad that she did that and told her, thank, girl. Jen says, my guess is Shamea's father hit on Miss Diane, but the wife caught him, so he told Miss Diane that she hit on him. What I'm thinking is you could be right. It could be that, or it could be that she saw that man look at Diane in some way that he shouldn't have, and she blamed Diane for it. Because y'all know women will do that too. And Nika J is on to something too. She says Shamea want Porsha to put hands on her to get her off that show. Yeah, absolutely. She would love to do that. So then we get back to the Sprinter. Not the Sprinter, the SUV or whatever the hell they riding over to the cemetery in, which is so macabre. So they riding over there. So Phaedra tells Shamea, like, look, certain stuff is triggering, and basically told her, I don't know if that stuff is appropriate for the group at all. Okay. Talking about mama's insurance and all like that. So then Phaedra's in the confessional and said, you know, Shamea definitely been stirring the pot. You know what I mean? And she said, you know, lying and told Pinky that I said she ate meat. And going and saying something real, saying inappropriate stuff to Angela's daughter. And she said that Shamea definitely been keeping up friction, with the group. And so then Shamea was like, I just feel like that when people do stuff to me, don't nobody say nothing. And then when I get my lick back, then they say you took it too far. And it's like, Shamea, you trying to get your lick back for that girl not going to your wedding 8, 9, 10 years ago is stupid as hell. That's not getting a lick back. That's holding a grudge, pretending like you don't have a grudge until you thought you was in a position to do something to her. That is not getting the lick back. That girl ain't do nothing to you. All last season, you was acting like a nut. No, ma'am, she did not say Pinky ate meat. What she said was, I know Pinky. I've been knowing Pinky. I knew her back when she had the Jamaican restaurant. The person that said Pinky ate meat is Kelly, her tenant. Okay? Kelly told her landlady, Shamea, she do eat meat. Because I seen her eat steak. You weren't watching when that happened, girl? No, she did not say that. Kelly said that. And Shamea knew Kelly said that. And she purposely lied on Phaedra to Pinky. Now, that's what happened. She wanted Pinky to be going after Phaedra. And she wanted K. Michelle to pick beef with Drew and with Porsha. Simple as that. Who lying? I don't practice lying. That's what happened. What, you want me to get the audio and play it? Because I will. Because I will. Kelly said that. Phaedra ain't said that at all. Thank you, Ginger. And tell her again. Because she don't believe me. Sis don't believe me. I ain't got to lie on Kelly. My name ain't Shamea. Or Drew. Or Angela. Or Porsha. Or Cynthia. I ain't got to lie on nobody. Yeah, people love, some people refuse to hold Shamea accountable for anything. They have completely infantilized her. Yeah, she served meat. It's a Jamaican restaurant. How you gonna have a Jamaican restaurant and you ain't serving no oxtails and no brown stew chicken? Yeah, Kelly made sure not to let Pinky know she said it when Pinky talked about it. That's right. Yep, that's what happened. So Phaedra wasn't wrong to mention that, because she definitely did lie on Phaedra, say something inappropriate to Angela's daughter, and showed out and made a fuss about that room at that big, nice palatial house in Dallas. She been doing a lot of little wild stuff. And so I have to agree, she was keeping up friction. And then talking about a lick back. So Cynthia said, letting her know it's not that I seen somebody do something to you and I didn't say nothing. So Cynthia says, hey, man, if Porsha had said something about your mama while we sitting at that table, I would have defended you. So she said what she did on the Instagram in front, what she did say something about my mama. And so Cynthia said, I'm talking about last night. She said, but she did it in front of the world. And I'm sitting there like, Shamea, stop it. Porsha made that Instagram post in response to that scene that you did with Cynthia Bailey last year, where you were in your confessional and alluded to the fact that Diane did something to your mama. Now, that's what happened. You was trying to blow a dog whistle to get people to attack Miss Diane last year. When that episode aired, Porsha took to Instagram and told you wrong road, keep Diane's name out your mouth, and stop trying to make people think my mama did something when you know your mama did something egregious to my mama. Now, that's what the hell happened. What it is, Shamea claimed don't nobody say nothing when people do stuff to her, but when she get her lick back, she went too far. But the truth of the matter is, Shamea, you do stuff to people and then you cry victim when they retaliate. Now, that's what happens. Birkin says, she says things, then apologizes, then does it again. I like how Pinky, you call her Stinky, says Shamea is on a professional apology tour and she needs to stop and stand on it, and does. Either stand on your mess or stop being messy. Thank you, management. So the fans wanted Shamea to come in and take Porsha down. They mad she failed, and so they making excuses. And I completely agree. Hey, Peacefully Yours. She said, and welcome, because I ain't met you before, unless you got a new name. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all welcome, Peacefully Yours. Kelly just hanging on to Shamea in case she need a financial favor. Well, right now she hanging on to that girl so she don't end up at the door, because she needs somewhere to stay. Shamea sit back and let Kelly talk about the other women. Yeah. I mean, that's a small price to pay for rent. You know how high rent is in Atlanta? That's a nice townhouse too. Very nice one. Now, Hyper said, Pinky basically said Shamea got bad energy right before the trip. She asked if she was ready for Scotland. Ready for whatever's coming for me. Yeah, just all that. Yes, that's what Pinky said. If it's a lie, Pinky told it. Pink ain't here for no apology video after the reunion. Now she did say that. She did say she wasn't ready for no apology video. That was said. Hey, Pink Pilates Princess, I'm glad you made it. And Breesh said, Shamea's a social climber. Why would you be so desperate to be friends with someone like Porsha if she been so bad? Because it was something to gain. It was something to gain. So look. So anyway, after all of that, Cynthia was like, girl, I didn't know you had all that all pinned up in there. And she basically was like, look, you know, Shamea's like a dog with a bone with this stuff and whatever. So anyway, we get back to Porsha on the phone with Lauren. And I'm sitting there like, boy, sure took Porsha long enough to finally arrive at point B. That's one. She's a very pretty lady, but Lord, she's slow. She's slow, among other things. So she's sitting there and she's like, you know, with all this stuff going on, this deeper than just mirroring. And I say, wait a minute. So somebody done told Porsha about mirroring. So she said, it's deeper than just mirroring. She said, it feels like she trying to destiny swap. She said, is this a destiny swap? She said, because it's deeper than mirroring. It feels like a destiny swap. Like she trying to do a destiny swap with me. She said, for this to be this deep. And, you know, she was getting irritated. And I didn't know whether the irritation came from the fact that you just not figuring out this girl was trying to pull a destiny swap, or whether the irritation came from, you know, the fact that, you know, it was that hard for her to put it together. Like it was, you know, too much effort to put that together. Because I'm trying to figure out why you didn't see it, because we do. It's almost like, okay, y'all go with me if you will. It's almost like this thing with Remy Ma and Clarissa Shields. Like we can all see every time Remy get a new hairdo, Clarissa go buy like a really, really budget version of the same wig. When Remy wear outfits, if the outfit is popping and people talk about it on social media, she kind of go get the rainbow or the City Trends version of the same outfit. Like we can see it. That's what Shamea kind of been doing, and everybody can see it. And I'm just like, ooh, child. Porsha took too long to figure out what everybody else can see. I say, this child here. Diane gave her a face, ain't gave her nothing for a brain, Lord. So anyway, she was like, I don't know how this finna go. And of course, Lauren is trying to be the voice of reason. Porsha talking about, I don't know if I can fake the vibe. Before they could get off the phone, Lauren then called Jesus. I say, that's right, Lauren, call the Lord. Call the Lord, because we gonna need Jesus. Porsha ain't wrapped tight. You know, when some people be like that, they don't, you know, put two and two together, that they need to calm down and sit down. But, you know, I was hoping that even maybe after she got off the phone, what Lauren was saying to her was going to sink in. Okay? Sink in. Because that's what I needed it to do, was sink in. Your sister telling you the truth. That girl trying to get you to jump on her, yell at her, scream at her, give her some type of rah-rah so she could say, oh, I'm defending myself against the big bully. That's what I seen. Lauren seen it. I'm glad she said it. Nakia Washington said, Nitra said the same thing. It's giving Remy and Clarissa vibes. It sure is. And it's a mess. It's a mess. It's weird. It's a weird mess, but it's a mess. So anyway, Porsha's group talking about they going to the spa. So I'm thinking she going to take them up to a local spa. She talking about a spa on the property. So these women, they out there trolling around this estate, get lost, end up in the bushes. I say, oh, hell no. Y'all too far from home to be wandering in the strange bushes. Then when they get to what's supposed to be the spa, it ain't nothing but an outdoor sauna and a hot tub, and the water was so hot, she said it was stinging. I said, So they turned around, they gave up on that and headed back indoors, because that was not what they was used to. Porsha talking about, well, next time we'll just go to the Four Seasons. Because, you know, this was last minute after the mess that went on the night before. They had to come up with something to excuse splitting the group off. So they tried to pull it. It didn't work. They gave up, went back inside. They went and got some food. Next time we see these women, they sitting around a fire pit chewing on some grub. And I ain't mad with them, because that ain't a bad way to go. If it's a sauna in the woods and a hot tub that's gonna boil the skin off you, like some neck bones. Peacefully Yours said, hey, you've been filing for a couple of years. Oh, thank you so much. Girl, they ended up in the bushes. They got lost on the property. The place so big, and people got lost. So anyway, back to the cemetery, people. Listen, I didn't say dumb. I said slow. And I meant what I said. She ain't fooling me. Do you know how many doctors are slow? It's a lot of people that can, accomplish things, but they be slow to the common sense. Porsha's very slow to the common sense. There's a lot of stuff that just be going right over her head. And it be stuff that she should catch like that. And it be going right over her head. And I feel like the only reason Porsha catching on to some of the stuff now is because her mama and her sister is helping her think. Now, I'm just going to keep it all the way being with you. I'm glad she's selling them wigs. They look good. I would like to have one. I'm glad she's selling them sheets. I keep forgetting to buy some sheets from Porsha, but I'm going to buy some because y'all know I support Black, especially Black American businesses. And those Black American women selling their goods, making their money. I'm going to support you if I can. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm not finna sit up here and pretend like Porsha's no Rhodes Scholar. Look how long it took her to figure out this girl was trying to destiny swap with her. Okay. So anyway, back to the cemetery. So the guy met him there. He took him on a tour of the cemetery. And let me just say, Phaedra morbid as hell. Ever since she been over there with Willie Watkins and them to that funeral parlor, she been real weird about this death and funeral and casket stuff. Didn't they do some weird casket stuff over there on Married to Medicare? It's been real morbid. She's gotten real morbid. Took these women to a historical cemetery. The guy came and got them, took them on a tour. And she telling him, I'm here because I work in the mortician business and I really like cemeteries and all this and that. So he's showing her the stuff. It's a monument to a dog there that came to sit by his owner's grave after the owner kicked the bucket. He tells them about the grave robbing past of the place, that people was, stealing bodies because that way they could supply cadavers to the medical schools and stuff, which that's a part of, European history anyway. Them people are a little different up there. Peacefully Yours say some people think Porsha jealous of Shamea, but I think what all Shamea has, she still want the celebrity status that Porsha has. I agree. She want to be a celebrity. DT said it took as long as it took for me to swallow a horse. So you saying she still ain't got it? Oh Lord. Blessed Ian say she don't even say she's Christian no more. What that got to do with her being slow? Oh, you talking about Phaedra? I don't think Phaedra has to say she's a Christian because she will still pray and do other things. You don't have to announce you're a Christian. I think she still is a Christian. Wasn't she on the Medicare show praying for them people over there? I think she has her Christianity on display. When the ladies had their little moving moment in the room when Kelly was crying about being homeless and Drew was crying because she was finna be booted out Ralph's house, she absolutely was providing Christian support. So I don't know what else she needs to do. P.S. Be afraid of people that go around announcing that they're Christians all the time and being so overt with it. And every other word is, see what the Lord this is, like Shamea mama. Be very afraid. You don't have, I feel like if you gotta tell people every 2 seconds you're a Christian, you probably not one. I'm just saying. Yep. And have them her favorite scripture. Mm-hmm. And gave them her favorite scripture. Yep, she did. She did give them her favorite scripture when they was having that little nice moment with the girls before they went back to bickering and arguing. But anyway, so they went and they did all that and then told them about the serial killers that was over there and everything. Phaedra reached up and grabbed the man's arm, laying all on the man's arm and stuff. Cynthia was like, hey, did Phaedra set up a date and just brought us along in case something ain't go right? Because Phaedra sure was getting real cozy laying on that man's arm. And he didn't look uncomfortable with Phaedra on his arm. So I'm like, well, hell, Phaedra, did you set up a weird date at a funeral? And not a funeral, but at a cemetery and have these girls here in case the man was weird or something? Like, what was this? That was strange. I'm going to be honest. And I'm glad that Cynthia peeped that was strange that if you really just met this man, Phaedra, why is you all on this man's arm? You flirting with the man who tours the cemetery? You up here flirting with Dead Man Dan? I didn't understand it. But either way, so listen, this when some mess went to going down. Y'all listen, I got my Skittles gummies today. It's the sour Skittles gummies. So if you see me pulling stuff and biting at it, you know that's what it is, okay? I ain't lost my mind. I'm not biting my fingers. But I got my Skittles gummies, and let me get comfortable. Because when we get back to Porsha group, the mess got messy for sure. Okay. Right. You saw that, Maury. He shook everybody's hand, but he hugged Phaedra. I saw that. Something tell me Phaedra was being fast and pulled a fast one. So look, Porsha and them sitting up there, they eating and talking. They around the fire, like they had a little fire pit, and they was over there eating. They was chewing. Okay. Then Drew, with her awkward fake self, gonna thank K Michelle for showing her some love. And I did think that was nice of K Michelle to do. I do think Drew appreciated it, but I think more than anything when she said it, it came off like, I'm glad you did it, but I think Drew didn't know how to trust that because K Michelle had been coming for her head the whole season for no reason. Lauren Brown said, can you put your snacks on Amazon also? And you put your Amazon link along the bottom of the screen. I absolutely will, sis. I will do just that. I promise you. Hey, just anticipate. Thank you for being 261. So look, and then so K Michelle said, you know, I wish you the best with your music. I know it's very difficult. And I'm like, K Michelle ain't take no shots. What's going on? So at this point now, I'm with Drew. Drew said thank you, but the thank you was like, I don't know how to take this. Like, should I be saying thank you? Or are you finna come get me? Me and Drew at that point was here. Because I'm like, you know, Drew, I don't normally like you, but you're right not to be trusting that right off the bat. So I'm like, where the hell is this going? So anyway, then K Michelle is in the confessional, and she says, for those of y'all who didn't see it, I had issues with Drew, but you know, it just felt like it wasn't right. If y'all watch Family Guy, and y'all done seen the big head baby, when he be confused looking at something, he twists his head till it turned all the way upside down. That's what I did. Because I'm like, you had issues with her, but you know, it just felt like it wasn't right. I can't just be moving in hate or however she put it, right? You didn't. The issues you had with Drew was the ones you made up out of the clear blue, out of the thin air. And part of me would have believed that you really, you know, the pain medicine and the alcohol, maybe you cooked that up in your brain. But no, that ain't what happened. Because y'all remember, after the Star Spangled Banner or the Star Spangled mess with the Star Spangled Banner and all that, see, it wasn't hater vibes. See, y'all be missing stuff. Blessed in, you got to look deeper than that. It looked like K Michelle was just being a psycho, right? Until the Star Spangled mess. Remember, K Michelle got up, left her whole Chanel and everything, went and got a Shamea car to leave, right? Left in the car, left Shamea there, everything. What did Shamea say to Drew? Well, Drew, you was bringing her name up with your guy Black. And I'm like, why would you tell that lie to that girl to her face? How you gonna lie on somebody to her face? You know you ain't seen Drew say that man name with K Michelle name not one time. So I said to myself, and myself said, what? And I was like, girl, the only reason Shamea would be invested enough in the K Michelle, Drew Sidora, and Black of it all is if she was already involved in it. And the only way she could be involved is if she was the one that was going to K Michelle and saying, she keep using your name with his name, or she told that girl to do that. There's no other reason why she would have been there still trying to push that narrative, even though everybody saw and everybody confirmed that Drew Sidora never said that man's name with K Michelle name, in conjunction with his name, adjacent to his name, parallel to his name, none of that. So I'm sitting there like, now what the hell done happened? Or what K. Michelle done seen? Or was it the encounter with Shamea mama? Something changed. Because you was gung-ho. You was down to go along with all the bull crap. Now all of a sudden, it don't feel right to have issues with this girl for no reason. You don't want to move in hate no more. But you was fine moving in hate before, pretending that girl did something she did not do. Garnet, you being ghetto. DT, thank you for the super chat. I am not reading that because she might be leaking, but K. Michelle is very pretty. She's pretty. If she's a leaky pipe, she's a very pretty leaky pipe. But thank you for the super chat. But listen, so after she said it don't feel right, she can't be moving in hate. Then Pinky decides she gonna be messy. I say, let's see where this go. So Pinky decides she gonna try to, swing one for the loser alliance, and brings up Porsha leaving. You left last night. You and everybody left with you. It's almost like she was blaming Porsha for the other women leaving the club. I didn't see Porsha tell them women, come on, y'all, let's go. So Porsha said, I'm finna go. Porsha didn't even tell none of the women she was leaving. Put a 1 in the chat if that's what you saw. Put a 2 in the chat if you saw Porsha tell anybody in their friend group that she was leaving. 1 if you didn't see Porsha tell nobody other than the people she said to get the car. But put a 2 in the chat if you saw her tell anybody, because I'm gonna have to put my 1. I didn't see Porsha tell none of them women she was leaving. But by the time Pinky is questioning Porsha about her leaving and everybody else leaving, then she blaming Porsha for the women leaving. She was like, oh, you left the club and you took everybody with you. And I'm like, took everybody with? How the hell? This don't make no sense. So I said, well, let's see where this is going. I got my pen, at this point, y'all, like pen and pad. I'm like, and I had my hand ready to stop at any moment so I could freeze it and write down what was said. So I'm like, so you were still going to try to put one in the air for Shamea? Valiant effort. So she tried it. And so Porsha was like, look, I saw her come in. She said she didn't have time to debrief or I guess get over what it just happened at dinner, because it was like literally like maybe an hour, couple of hours before. She ain't had time to get through, hey, you call my mama a hoe, I called your mama a hoe, ho, ho. She ain't had time to work through that. And she basically said she felt like Shamea was unpredictable, because there's no way in hell she could have predicted. Shamea would have came to dinner when everybody, the lighthearted, chilling, having a good time, and say, your mama's a hoe, let me touch your baby. She didn't know that was going to happen. So she felt like Shamea unpredictable. If I stay here, she going to make up something else. So hell, for all Porsha knew, Shamea could have threw herself on the ground and accused Porsha of hitting her or shoving her. Anything could have happened. Hell, Porsha did it to Nene. Y'all remember? Put a 7 in the chat if you remember that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When Nene was going through it and Greg was sick with the cancer and Nene was stressed out and they up there going in her closet trying to take the cameraman in her closet, and she was just like, I done told y'all don't go in my closet and all that. Y'all remember that? Porsha was up there talking about, I'm scared, pretending like Nene broke the belt on her dress and all that. Lying on the woman. Lying on her. So I feel like Porsha was within her rights to be like, let me go. Because at the end of the day, Shamea doing everything else you did, she could have decided to pull a you on you. She been trying to pull a you on you. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't see Porsha tell nobody. She grabbed her purse. She said, oh, I can't be here. Turned around, went over there to the people that work for the people and said, get me a car because I'm finna go. She didn't tell nobody she was leaving. But by the time Pinky come questioning her about it, oh, you took everybody with you when you left. DT say Pinky looks like a kid's foot odor. Thank you for the super chat. Why are you so out of control? DS, come get DT. Cam to the reflection corner. Take him over there. 17-second violation. But listen. So after she said that, and she really didn't have nothing to go with it, She was like, you know, the girl just randomly tried to trigger me. I don't know what's going to happen. And she was like, I had just let my guard down. And then that's what she did. So then Drew, this one Drew come in handy. Because Drew don't really be in the middle of nothing because she ain't really got no real charisma, no real personality. But she know how to insert herself. This time, like a couple of other times, she inserted herself and she flipped that mess back on Pinky and K. Michelle. I say, well. You don't say. Now flipped it back. We got another offender. DS then came to collect another one. So Drew flipped it back. Drew says to them, well, you know, how they feel about Shamea right now. You know, with everything going on her, how do y'all feel about Shamea? Flipped it back. Baby, when she flipped it back, Pinky and K. Michelle had not prepared beauty pageant responses. And so Pinky let it slip on out. You could tell K. Michelle didn't have no intention on letting it slip out. But Pinky messy. Pinky's a messy old something. Pinky say, well, to be honest, you know, her energy was off. Or however she put it, she said, because before the trip, I asked her how she was feeling. Well, you know, was she ready for the trip? And she was like, she told me, I'm ready for whatever's ready for me. I'm ready for what I'm coming for whatever's coming for me. However she put it, you know, with her DMX voice. Now, I don't know whether Shamea used the DMX voice, but we did see Shamea, you know, get real raspy with her voice. And when she got up from that table and she was over there swinging her weave, and if she want to talk, we could talk. And if she want to talk, we could talk. When she was leaving the restaurant in the last episode. So maybe she did have a little raspy to her voice when she said it. Because Pinky Show gave it to us with her, you know, her DMX impersonation. So then everybody looking like, oh, shoot. I said, come on, Drew. I'm going to check. Get the mess. So then K. Michelle was looking like a deer in the headlights because she had no intention on putting anything out on Shamea. I could tell that. She still wasn't really trying to put it out on Shamea. I think at this juncture, K. Michelle was just trying to quietly back away from her, you know, prior obligation to fight with the people that Shamea don't like. So anyway, K. Michelle was like, well, I was just shocked because, you know, up until then, meaning she was fully aware of Shamea's attitude coming into this trip. You dig? Which further, now it makes more sense with why she was saying that Shamea had turned into a monster. She was saying that because she saw something we didn't see. We were not privy to the DMX Rough Riders conversation that Pinky just told us about. So anyway, she was like, I was shocked because up until that point, her energy had been, you know, she had been very sad. She was just so sad over this relationship to the point of crying. I said, oh, see, she was so sad that she was crying to manipulate you. Them tears was manipulation. Those tears were a manipulation. They were emotional manipulation. And you fell for it hook, line, and sinker and decided, well, girl, you can't fight them, I'll fight them for you. And made yourself look like a first-rate donkey, K. Michelle. You look like a big donkey. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Because you fell for them tears. That's what you get, though. That's what you get, because you need to learn to stay out of people's business. So anyway, so Porsha was like, look, I was chilling. Everything was everything. I felt like we were starting to get along. It was what it was. Like, hell, we was on the way there. You know, if you was going to try to get your friend back, this was the time to do it because I was really chilling. And Porsha had been being real easy. Even when they was in the shop, remember when they was buying the tartan or the plaid, whatever the hell we say plaid, they say tartan, same goddamn thing. Remember that? When they was in there and Porsha was like, I'm going to pay for all y'all sashes because it's Phaedra's birthday. Phaedra ain't going to pay, I'm going to pay. And remember, Shamea made that little slick comment talking about, oh, I'll cash app it to you later. That's what she used to do to me. Porsha didn't take that bait or nothing. Everything was everything. So then you got K. Michelle in the confessional talking about Porsha lying. She ain't never said nothing about wanting to make amends. First of all, hooker, heifer. She ain't told you that she wanted to make amends. She was like, they could have went back to being cool and cordial. Because make amends for what? I ain't doing that to you. You make amends when you've done wrong and you got to make right, or you got to make somebody whole. That ain't what that girl said. She said she was chilling and y'all, and basically y'all, they was being cordial and everything was everything. So you could have, you know, if you was going to approach her like, can we move forward or whatever, Porsha would have fake moved forward with her. Now I believe that it was going to be fake as a $4 bill, but if she'd have just kept it cool and copacetic, Porsha probably would have fake made up with her, just like she fake made up with Kelly. But instead of Shamea going for the fake makeup, she tried to go for another takedown, and that thing boomerang. Now, you know, we got conversations about your mama, your daddy, and your uncle. You know what I mean? So anyway, so Porsha was like, yeah, if you wanted your friend back, you know, you could have got your friend back across the pond or whatever. And that's how that conversation ended. So I was like, back at the house, the conversation got good, y'all. It got good. So then back to the cemetery. The cemetery was very educational, but it wasn't the kind of education that I wanted to have. So we find out cemetery, I think they said in 1679, it was the first concentration camp period ever. 1,200 people had been held there. And you know, they was held there for high treason against the king. You know, it was against the king. They put you in the camp. Okay. And in 1999, they did an exorcism there because people were seeing stuff. And then the person who done the exorcism kicked the bucket. And so then they wanted to go into the place that was a concentration camp at the cemetery. So of course, Phaedra's macabre, spooky, morbid tale want to go in. Cynthia went in with her. Shamea and Kelly were trying to go. It was just weird. Shamea tried to make it about Porsha. You there with Phaedra, Cynthia, you and Kelly, but you still talking about Porsha. Talking about, you brought me here because of Porsha. Y'all sending me a message if I go against y'all queen. And girl, ain't nobody thinking that deep. You the only person thinking that deep about Porsha. I ain't figured out why she think Porsha's that important, baby. Do your thing. Do your thug thizzle. Your life should not revolve around Porsha. Whether Porsha talking to you, whether Porsha your friend, and nothing else other than you got some weird intentions and it's starting to bubble to the top. Okay. So anyway, Phaedra and Cynthia, Phaedra excited. Cynthia is just along for the ride. They go into the spooky dookie place. Phaedra walk in there like, ooh, I just hear the dying echoes of Shamea and Porsha friendship. I say, child, I'm done. I can't take this. Phaedra's not a serious person. I don't have time for Phaedra. But she in there and they looking around the place or whatever. But while they in there looking at the concentration camp place, Kelly and Shamea is sitting outside. I say, Lord, here we go. So Kelly's like, well, how you feel about the conversation that they had in the car on the way to the cemetery? So here comes Shamea ready to start acting. She crying. She done started crying again. I'm like, this heifer can cry on cue. Now, she ain't no real good actress, but if it's a part where all she got to do is cry, or maybe somebody could hire her as a professional mourner just to cry at people's funerals when they don't have a lot of relatives. You know, you need people to cry to make it look like, you know, you was missed. She could do that. Now, that she could do. As soon as Kelly asked her, baby, the tears was on cue. So talking about, it's easier to apologize even if I don't feel like I did anything wrong, and I got more peace being truthful about my feelings, even if it makes somebody else uncomfortable. And I'm like, what the hell is she even talking about? The only person that Shamea apologized to in the car on the way to the cemetery was Phaedra for ruining her dinner. So you don't feel like you was wrong for ruining her dinner? I'm sorry for ruining your dinner, but it's easier to apologize even if I don't think I did nothing wrong. You don't think you was wrong? You don't think you did nothing wrong? Walking into a peaceful, an otherwise peaceful dinner saying, your mama's a hoe, let me touch your kid. That was some weird random bull crap, and you didn't have to do it. But I guess she did that for the camera because that was supposed to appeal to the audience. You know, everything she do seemed to be real calculated. So then Kelly was like, the group, basically in the confession of the group taking on Porsha's beef, and they don't care about the truth. They only interested in who been here the longest, and the person that been there the longest known for lying. And so is the one that you sitting up there talking to, that you living in her townhouse rent free. So is the rest of them women on their cast too. But I digress. So we get past that. The tour guide jokes about spirits attaching and following Phaedra and Cynthia back home. Cynthia looked legitimately shocked. That Alabama girl was like, hey, you ain't said nothing about nothing attaching to me, man. And the tour guide was like, oh, I'm just joking. I'm sitting at home. Like, that ain't no joke to tell, Mr. Clear Answer. You don't tell no joke like that by something attaching to her, and you done took them in a old concentration camp where the people tried to exercise it and got exercise they got during self. That wasn't funny. But okay. So anyway, back at the house, girl, before the rest of them got back. Right, Hyper. Kelly Show took on Shamea's beef. That's why she think other people taking on Porsha beef. Porsha don't have no beef. Porsha don't care about Shamea. She don't care about him. Oh, Lord. Y'all, the emotional support kitty is on one. Marlena of Days of Our Lives. Okay. Dark humor. That wasn't even funny. Yeah, it wasn't funny. That was, hey, we black people, we don't play like that. Bap say, and that's why I wouldn't have went. Cynthia should have stayed outside, and I would have. Because what the hell? So back at the house, Porsha showing the group the space where she gonna have the secret dinner for Phaedra. And Pinky and they're touching on stuff, and they're like, hey, don't touch nothing in here. Don't touch nothing in here, and y'all don't need to be touching nothing but the Bible anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they joked around a little bit. Then in the car, you got Cynthia messing with Phaedra, like, you know, telling her child, you sure lit up at that cemetery. You was real excited at that cemetery around that man. And, you know, we didn't even find out is the man married or anything. So Kelly like, oh, he said she dead to him. And her and Shamea went to going on and on or whatever. And then it turns out that the man is going through a divorce or whatever like that. Cynthia was like, I'm tired of this married man talk. Y'all talking about who's sleeping with a married man. Enough is enough with that. And Phaedra was like, yeah, let's kind of stay out of people's crotches. And I agree. Stay out of people's crotches. It's getting to be a little weird. Okay. So then Shamea gonna ask Phaedra about how it was co-parenting with Apollo, which was a very random question. You know, it was like, what you gonna do for your birthday? What you plan? And she went through this whole thing or whatever about this, you know, that's your new year. I feel like your birthday is your new year too, and planning for the year and all that. So they asked her about Shamea asked her about co-parenting with Apollo, like it was a interview question. It was just odd. And she was like, oh, it's fine, you know, we talk when we have to talk and all that. And she said that in the last 7 years, she's only had 2 boyfriends. Cynthia called bullcrap and was like, girl, you be wearing them sexy wigs and them sexy dresses. Somebody done been there to that house. And I say, if she had 2 boyfriends in 7 years, how long did she keep the boyfriends? Just because somebody look away don't mean they doing something. And furthermore, even if she decided to, you know, be sneaky, freaky, don't mean they was no boyfriends. It might have been she snuck to go see Willie Earl and came back home before sunrise. They don't make it no boyfriend. So it is what it is. But I did think it was kind of funny. Cynthia didn't say it in no malicious way. But to be fair, 2 boyfriends in 7 years is quite enough, unless you changing them out every 2 weeks. And at the same time, just because somebody dressing and looking good don't mean they doing nothing. I know a lot of real pretty women that ain't touched a man since a man touched them long time ago. And shout out to all the beautiful single ladies up in here this evening. Okay. So then we get Angela, Drew, Pinky, and Shamea getting sashed up for dinner. Everybody, all them getting their sashes. Now, what I did notice was that Cynthia ain't had no sash on. Neither did Phaedra, neither did Porsha. But, you know, Angela, Drew, Pinky, Shamea, and Kelly had on their sashes. Okay, they were sashed up. The table was being set and all of that. And so then while they sitting in the room, it was just Angela, Drew, and K. Michelle. And she debriefed them a little bit about the conversation. Yes, just anticipate Willie Earl. You know, she might have been sneaking out to see Willie Earl while the children was asleep, and then get back there before the children had to go to school. That might have been what that was. And if that's the case, if she was going to see Willie Earl or going to see Jody, it don't mean that was her man. Okay. So she let them know about conversation with Shamea in the car. And then Shamea basically was like, you know, she don't feel like, you know, people be on her side, you know, when certain stuff happened, everybody against her, yada yada. I'm paraphrasing that. And so K Michelle was like, well, see, that's what I'm afraid of, because I don't want nobody to feel like that. Hey, the divine Miss M, I don't want nobody to feel like that, you know, yada yada, right? So anyway, then Porsha walks in with the white dress, child, and the cutout on the top. And I mean, she was just, you know, everything skin tight, looked like the dress was painted on. I said, well, cotton picking, Porsha. Ain't no men here to catch, but you got on the dress you had to put on with oil and fishing line, but she got in it and she looked good in it too. She did look good, but the dress was skin tight. So she come on in the room and she spoke, hey girls, y'all ready for a good evening? She just, you know, trying to be bubbly, as she told her sister, trying to fake the vibe and keep it moving. Came on in, you know what I'm saying? Angela was like, ooh, child, attention, you can cut it with a knife. I say, yeah, it was tension, but Porsha was playing it off good. Shamea could not. Shamea was over there glitching. Her face was like, she was making all them faces. I'm like, hey, sugar, don't do that. So Pinky said, hey, Couture, babe. So Pinky was like, oh, you look like Betty Boop. And she said, oh, thank you, child. And when Pinky told Porsha she looked like Betty Boop, Shamea looked like she was having a light stroke in the face. She looked like she was having a light stroke in the face. And it's like, baby, listen, thank you for being like number 286, boo. So my thing was, Shamea, for you to be like, I'm cool on her, I don't care about her. All this girl got to do is walk in the room and you get the screw face. Shamea was sitting up there holding her face like she had a stomach flu because the girl walked in the room. Did you think that you was going to come on this show, do all this dirt, and Porsha was just going to disappear? That's what you thought. That's what you thought. Girl, don't be for real. If you're going to be anything, be for real. Making all them cotton picking faces. I said, what is she doing? That don't make no sense. So anyway, Phaedra walks in, child. She in white. She got the white with the cutout. She's showing the underneath the cleavage, the middle of the cleavage. She had looked like fur, feathers, all type of stuff going on. She had the long curly blonde wig. She walked in there looking like the 4th of July or the Christmas Day parade. I don't know what it was, honey. She came in there white and sparkling and cut out and skin tight and blonde and feathered and furred and plucked and plundered and glitzed and glittered. And I said, well, that she the birthday. Phaedra is the birthday. Phaedra walked in looking like the birthday. If you light a candle, the flame at the top of the candle was Phaedra, because it was so much going on. I was like, birthday. All right, Phaedra. So she came on in with all that. They had bagpipes come on in. The bagpipes is bagpiping it. I don't know how many pipes you can bag before you feel like it's enough. They bagpiping it up and they having a good old time. Then they finally went on and sat down for supper. And so when they sit down, you know, she talking about, you know, that she, you know, really appreciated that they set up a secret dinner in a secret room, which was right next to her bedroom, and she didn't even know it was there. That place is really big. That's a really, really, really big house, big castle, mansion. I don't even know what you call it, but I know it is massive. That's a massive place. Veronica Johnson says, Shamea is no longer pretty to me anymore. Pretty is as pretty does. I won't go that far. I feel like Shamea is still pretty, but when you make all them crazy faces, you can make yourself look a little crazy, you know? I wish she would stop that, because she really is. She's a lovely girl facially. But sometimes, you know, I give it to you. Sometimes your behavior can color how people see you. It can. One of my grandmamas was like that. I promise you, I didn't even know she was pretty until she was laying in a coffin, because she had been so mean. I promise you, I never even recognized that she was pretty. And then after she passed and I saw her laying there without all that, you know, energy and attitude, I kind of felt bad, because I was like, wow, this was really a pretty lady. But you wouldn't have known it if you'd have met her. She was so mean, you know. So maybe that's what you're picking up on, is the energy. But anywho, while at the dinner and she's thanking them for the secret dinner and all that, she acknowledged Cynthia first, and that her and Cynthia started that show together, and, you know, and all that good stuff. Then Cynthia went to talking about their relationship, and she was like, you know, our relationship was a slow burn and they weren't always on the same page and all that. And I was like, that was nice, because and production showed some of the highlight reel from when they wasn't getting along and, you know, where they are now. But Cynthia said, though it was a slow burn and they wasn't always on the same page, that she liked where they at now. She likes where they at. Then when she gets to Porsha was like, girl, we've been through so much, and we ain't got nothing but the best memories, and you a lovely friend, and we didn't had ups and downs, but it didn't take no whole big old long thing for us to get back. But we got back and all that, and she had her gift, which was the proclamation of a title. A Highland title is the Lady of the Glen. And Phaedra liked all that dramatic nonsense, so that was perfect. Yeah, she does. She does. Well, that's a compliment, because I like Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton. So then Shamea was sitting over there talking while Porsha was going on and on and on about Phaedra, was like, Phaedra wasn't even at your wedding. So didn't you just say Porsha wasn't even at your wedding? Oh, now she your best friend. She wasn't even at your wedding. So you was running around saying Porsha was your best friend and she didn't come to your wedding in Africa. You pretended like you were so bothered that you pretended you didn't even have a wedding in America. Porsha had to produce receipts to prove it. To prove it, honey. So if her not going to the wedding means that they're not good friends, then that means when Porsha didn't fly to Africa to go to your wedding, then that means she wasn't your good friend either. Why didn't you leave her alone? By your logic, Shamea. So anyway, then you got Angela like, oh, Porsha putting some juice on that. What she doing, she trying to make everybody feel like Shamea never mattered. Well, maybe she didn't. Maybe she didn't. Mind you, she was on the show with Shamea and nobody saw so much energy or chemistry between them that they gave a name to their duo. But they definitely saw the energy between Porsha and Phaedra and named their duo freaking Frack. Ain't nobody named you and Porsha's duo a goddamn thing, because it wasn't much of a duo. It was Porsha and the backup dancer that was not really her friend. And she wasn't really her friend. And are they friends or are they frenemies? Like, what the hell could they have named y'all duo? Because there wasn't much of a duo. So then you get Kelly talking about, oh, this is so calculated. Look on their social media. They don't hang out. But clearly they do hang out, because we saw them at each other's houses. When they went to the Beyonce concert, they was together. The Cowboy Carter, because I was looking at the outfits like, I dressed my kid better. But they was there. They hang out together. Why? What do you mean, Kelly? It's giving you. So now you want to take that up for Shamea too? You don't want Porsha to say her and Phaedra is friends because Shamea upset about it, but don't you need Shamea to be your best friend so you can keep living rent free? What's wrong with you, Kelly? You ain't figured out which side you want to be. Like, what you doing? You need to be Shamea's only friend because you need financial support. Simple. So anywho, we get past all that. You got the proclamation. Phaedra liked the proclamation, was like she gonna start saying that she is Lady Dr. Phaedra, whatever nonsense, Lady of the Glen and all of that. Then after that, Shamea hating on the Highland title, the Lady of the Glen Highland title, talking about, oh, what is that? Can I Google it? And if I Google it, will she show up? Let me Google it. Like, girl, you way too invested. It was weird. And then she grabs her phone like, nope, can't Google it. She don't show it. It's like, it's not witty. It's not entertaining. It ain't even, it was you were trying to be shady, but it was just shameful. It was not okay. It was embarrassing. I had secondhand embarrassment for her. But anywho, the hate was for show real, right? For show real. So anyway, after that, they went to talking about the excursion during the day. So I think Phaedra tried to ask Porsha about the spa day, which wasn't. It was a spa day that never was. Like, unless you call getting lost in the woods and running from a too hot tub in the bushes is a spa day, because them have sat around a fire pit and gossiped and ate some food, which is more like, more to my liking. So anyway, she said, not until you tell us about the cemetery. So then Phaedra went to talk about the cemetery, and she likes to go there because she says she feel like you learn more about people in a place when you see how they treat their dead, which that's a fair assessment, you know, because she looks at death from a different vantage point. And I respect that. You know, everybody look at the world different. I judge people by their food. I'm gonna tell you that. I judge people by their food. If your people, your ethnic group, your wherever you're from, if your food is good, I'm more likely to be inclined that y'all might be good people because the food is good. Yeah. But she look at how they treat their dead. So I respect it. Some people judge societies by the art, the amount of art and the importance they put on arts and humanities. And that's cool too. So she was trying to have that conversation, child. Next thing you know, K. Michelle done got emotional, started crying. Have you ever almost died? Have you ever almost died? She's triggered by them talking about death. And I'm like, girl, people die every day, B. Nobody should have to avoid the conversation of death because you had all them surgeries to your backside. Now, I'm sorry that happened to you because everybody could have made a mistake. Anybody could make a mistake. And you're paying for it. And I'm sorry. I really am sorry. And I don't think it's funny that she's had a total of 15 surgeries and 13 due to silicone. I don't think that's funny at all. And I don't take it lightly. But K. Michelle gets triggered and like gets overly emotional way too easy. So she's going through this whole thing of what happened with her. And they told her mama she could die. She might not make it out. And how her son was afraid that she could die. And he was also embarrassed. And how she was laying there and praying and asking the Lord to just let her live, and she had only made a mistake and all of that. And I'm just like, on this girl birthday, this what you doing, Kay? Like, girl, you got to get your emotions. You got to wrangle your emotions, mama, and get them under control. So they talking about dead this, dead that, dead this, dead that. Next thing you know, Drew Sidora up there, you know, she is not going to be out victim by nobody. So then she's like, oh, my daddy dead. And, you know, I ain't been to my daddy's grave in 2 years. And I know I should have went, but I ain't go. And then Angela was getting worked up, but she wasn't going to talk because, you know, Angela don't like to give you none of her real emotion or real personality. Angela just like to stir the pot and be a monitoring spirit and keep up mess. And lie on you if she have to here and there. You know, a little sprinkle, a little razzle-dazzle. So Angela gets up on her own. Drew gets up. At first, I'm thinking Drew and Porsha finna check on Angela. I don't know where the hell Angela went. Drew ended up in the bathroom. Porsha ended up running behind her to check on her. And soon as Porsha leave the table, here comes Shamea trying to talk about the night before. About last night. Back to the notes. So soon as Porsha get up and run behind Drew, here she go talking about, I just want to apologize. I already apologized to Phaedra. And, you know, I don't want to make y'all feel like y'all got to pick sides. So why are you talking about picking sides, you weirdo? Like, what's good with you? But, you know, it was a build up and all this and that, you know, just her normal narcissistic gobbledygook that she be doing. So Pink is in the confession like, child, I am tired of the apology tour. I don't want to see no more apologies. Even Kelly was like, stand on it 10 toes down and then gonna cock her legs up in the air, in the confessional, in front of the camera and showed her tail. You nasty cow. Why the hell would you do that? Why would you show your behind like that? And then try to play it off like it's no big deal. It is a big deal. You are a full-grown woman with a legally grown daughter, and you had the audacity to cock your legs up in the air in front of a camera on national television. What is wrong with you? Stupid. You so excited to be proving that you team Shamea. Oh, yeah, just whatever you say, just stand on it 10 toes down. And yeah, talking about some everybody seen crack before. And you act like you done smoked some. Everywhere but your dress size. Shamea is a straight narc. She's dangerous. Super. Super. So then, Lord Diaz say she a half-grown woman. Diaz, can you put yourself in the reflection corner? That is a 31-second violation. Help us, Lord. So then Porsha come back to the table after checking on Drew, and I think it was Pinky was like, oh, we were just talking about last night. Like they was trying to draw Porsha back into the conversation, but she didn't bite. And so somebody mentioned last night again, and she still was, you know, giving Shamea and the rest of them the dusty mouth because she wasn't doing it. I guess she kept in her mind what Lauren told her, Don't feed into it because that's what she want. And the fact, hey, my sister in the house. So she was trying to get that bad monkey away. Yeah, that's probably what she was doing. But that's some cat she need to put up and don't give to nobody. Keep it to herself. And I think Porsha was also trying to keep in mind what Phaedra told her about, I don't want no mess at my dinner. Because as soon as Shamea started that mess, if y'all look at Phaedra's face, Phaedra was looking like, I know good and hell well you ain't finna mess up my birthday dinner, and I am the lady of the goddamn Glen. But Porsha didn't fall into it, gave him the dusty mouth, that was it. And then Phaedra basically was like, look, I appreciate that we ended on a positive note. They only had one real snafu on the trip, and that was, everybody chilling, and then your mama's a hoe, let me touch your kid. So that's how that went. Personally, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This episode, I did enjoy. It had all the elements. It had mess. It had people telling on themselves. It had hookers lying and forgetting what lie they told. We had K. Michelle exposing the fact that you really didn't have no real beef with that girl. You had all type of stuff going on. All type of stuff going on. So me personally, I don't know what y'all gonna rate this episode, on a 1 through 10. Please let me know in the chat what y'all rating it. I'm giving this one a 8.9, almost 9. Almost 9. I like the fact that they got through the trip, only had one problem. I like that they managed to get through this episode with no mess. It was interesting to watch Shamea try to go do an apology tour after showing her entire tail. It was nice to see the dynamic where Lauren got to be the brains of the operation and tell Porsha don't fall into no trap, because the trap was there and Porsha was all set to jump into it with both feet. Oh, I see how y'all scoring them. I see it. See 10s, 8s, 8.5s. Okay. Sean say he giving a review a 10. Thank you for giving me a 10. I appreciate that. But yeah, this is getting interesting and look like next week. Now I'm gonna tell you, out of all the coming attractions, the fact that they got that man on there. Remember, we played the clip from that man calling his own wife a prostitute. Baby, they got the man, George, with the green beard. And somebody said, so Angela didn't lie. Angela vindicated. So now I need to see what the hell finna go on next week. Because what is George finna say? What is George finna say? Because if George say the wrong thing, then you might make your wife look like a liar too. I need to know what's going on. And I'm thrilled because we saw Angela make up a whole narrative last season. But if she lied last season, but somehow she not lying this season, oh, then we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. And I mean a big one. Thank you, Jen. So we got to see. And I'm not going to watch the whole Watch What Happens live. But if any of the clips jump out at me, I want y'all to be ready and prepared that we might have to go live tomorrow to talk about what in the hell went on. We'll watch what happens live. Thank you so much for all of y'all for giving me 10s. I appreciate my 10s, okay? Because I do my best. I take the notes. I try to keep the conversation straight and reference back to what has happened previously, because sometimes these women forget what lies they told. Kelly could have stayed home. She wears subsidy a little too well. 9. Ooh. Richard say he only watched the review. I appreciate you. Yeah. Y'all, this one was interesting. Something tells me next week is going to be a doozy. Something tell me next week is going to be a doozy. So let's see what happens. That's all I got for so far. But let me say this. No, I didn't forget about it, Sunshine. We done ran late and we'll talk about it tomorrow, if anything. I didn't forget though. You gave the episode of 10 Birkin. That's what's up. But yeah, so dig now. That's what went on. That's what we got. That's the notes for tonight. What I am gonna say What I am going to say, be on the lookout. We probably going to end up live again tomorrow, depending on what happens with the Watch What Happens Live. And then we'll have an opportunity to, have a conversation about them tweets from K. Michelle. Because they were strange. But the more I watch these, episodes, the more K. Michelle's erratic behavior starts to make sense in a different way. If that makes sense. Because I try to look at things from every angle, and sometimes when you spin it and look from a different angle, some of the stuff that didn't make no sense start to make a whole bunch of sense. Okay? I mean a whole bunch of it. So we'll get into it. So listen, as per normal, I want to say a special thank you to everybody who supported the stream, to Leslie Cornish, to my DT. Thank you. And a thank you to everybody who made a comment, hit the like button, sent up bubbles. I appreciate all that. Y'all know what time it is. Okay, it is that time. If you did not hit the like button on the way in, please hit the like button on the way out. Hit your notification bell. Make sure you click all so you will know every single time that we go live on this channel. For our sister that asked for the wish list link, I'm going to put that in the chat. I'm going to run it through the chat. And of course, it is also in the description box, and I will update it just like you said. Okay. Another thing, make sure y'all in Discord, because the ladies in Discord know when I'm going live before anybody else. And a lot of the gossip that does not make it to the live stream absolutely does make it to Discord. Okay. Subscribe if you've not subscribed already, because we are indeed happy to have you here. Make sure you come back. If you want to join channel membership, there's a join button in the video and a membership link in the description box. Okay. Also in that description box, we have the link to my book, Little Girl, Big World. It is a survival guide for girls leaving home for the first time. Please, with a cherry on top, make sure that if you would like a copy and cannot afford one, that you contact me in Discord, please. So that way I can make sure you get one free of charge. Let's keep our girls safe. We have the link for our merchandise store, so you can be a part of the RHOA family and represent the RHOA family with your crown gear. We have the link for my Amazon wish list and our storefront. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So listen, as always, it's Sunday night. Good night, sweet dreams. Do not forget to say your prayers. Don't be going to bed without praying. Don't do that. Okay, make sure you do so. And when you get up tomorrow, y'all, remember, and when you're heading to school, work, wherever you're going, be positive and productive. Encourage the people around you. Remember to always, and I do mean always, encourage yourselves. And in case no one else says it to you, always remember, God loves you. I love you. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Talk to y'all again soon, okay? Bye.